Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go. Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go.
Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn, hits better.
Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go. Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go.
Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn, hits better.
Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go. Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go.
Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn, hits better.
Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go. Attention Insane Asylum. Ready to score some epic Dr. Greenthumb show prizes? Every super chat enters you into a giveaway for a free gift. And the more you give, the bigger the rewards. Check this out. Send a $20 super chat, and we'll hook you up with the sticker pack or pins. Drop a $50 super chat, and you'll snag a t-shirt or a hat so you can rep BREALTV in style. But if you're feeling bold, hit us with the $100 super chat, and we'll send you a mystery box loaded with over $200 worth of awesome surprises. Don't miss your chance to win. Send your super chat now, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's go.
Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn, hits better.
Disclaimer. This video, like all videos featured on this channel, is definitely intended for mature audiences. This video is likely to contain profane language. Content is inappropriate for minors. Video is not for kids.
Welcome to the Dr. Greenthumb Show. Lord of mercy.
Yes. Much help is needed. Always right here on the Dr. Greenthumb Show, live on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, X, and the home site, www.BREALTV. What it do? Dr. Greenthumb on first base, Mr. Trace Nunes, a.k.a. Sweet Tooth.
Good to be back in the lineup.
Is it?
Wow. Seems a bit aggressive. Did you see that? Like, that was aggressive.
Oh, there's a reason for this, and we'll get into that later, Mr. Nunes. Special guest in the house, and we've been waiting for this to happen for a fucking long time. My man, Jay Wasley, up in here.
Thanks so much, man. I'm super stoked to be here. This is great.
We are believers, all right? I want to say that first, and then we'll
All right,
do the rest.
that's great.
We got some of the Treehouse crew, Ra and the Dominator, chilling in the nest, making things happen.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We have the Concentrate King in
Why
the
is it on
building,
me? Yeah.
Kelly Blaith, because they don't have a camera over there.
Oh, okay.
Remember that.
You go to me first.
We also have Mr. Milligram's E-Zone in the building.
What is up? Welcome to the guest. I have a lot of questions.
Oh, we all, yeah. Been watching your show for a long time.
That's, thanks, man. It means a lot.
You know, because we are all into that sort of thing. Like we believe we've seen things in this building. Actually,
Really? Yeah.
yeah. We moved in here about 10 years ago, and like probably in the first year we noticed crazy shit happening. Things flying off shelves here and there, and things moving across the table in the middle of a show. Things like that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we're like totally locked in.
Yeah. Do you know any of the history or anything to this place?
Well, so instinctively we called this entity in the building or whatever it is the old man.
Okay.
That's the vibe I had, right? And one day we were talking about it, and this guy rolls up to the door, and I had never seen him before. He didn't look like the lady who actually, you know, the lady who owns the building has a business manager, and she'll usually, or a building manager, and he'll go deal with all the buildings that they own.
Right.
So this guy that came up, I didn't recognize him. He didn't have any uniform on. I'm like, can I help you? And he goes, yeah, you know, my father owned these buildings, and I was here when he laid the first brick. Boom. That told me
That's who it is.
who it was. And I said, that's crazy, man, because we have a spirit in here, and we call it the old man, and I think it is your father. And he goes, well, that's crazy you say that to me, because we own like 5-6 other buildings in the area, and every one of the building managers tells me that they could feel my father and see things happening and shit like that. So we think it's the owner
He's
of.
still going around checking his buildings.
Yeah, I think he started building some of the ones that their family owns in the 50s. You know, he goes way back. So we think maybe it's that guy attached to his building, something he loved, you know?
Nice.
So
Yeah, maybe
that's
we should come investigate here sometime.
yes. We were talking about that. We're like, man, we should tell him to bring the spirit box.
Right?
G.
What requires, like, what are the requirements for an investigation? Like, how do you even find a place like that? Because, I mean, there's those places that, like, are obviously well known, like the Amityville Horror, or places like the museum in Vegas where you have to sign a waiver. But how do you figure out a place? Because I imagine it's like trying to get new content at the same time, where you're like, you got to keep it fresh. You've been having it for so long. How do you find a place where you're like, all right, there's some demons in here?
Yeah, well, what's crazy about our show, too, is, you know, in production, normally you shoot a season of a show. Like, you take a couple months, shoot a season. then you're off for the rest of the year or whatever, and you shoot the next season a few months later. We shoot every other week. So we've been going, I've been with the show 15 years now, and literally every other week we're on the next episode shooting.
There's so many places, right?
There's so many places. And now with the internet, I mean, we get hit up by fans all the time that are like, hey, check this place out, you know, and we get to know these places that maybe aren't like the Amityville, the big places, because they're just people that are like, in my hometown, there's this spot you got to check out. And then we do have researchers that work for us, so we'll pass that along to them. They kind of sort through it, and then basically it goes to Zach, and he's like, this is the one we're doing.
And you know, some of them you could either debunk or verify, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think everything we go into open-minded, but also we want to experience it.
Yeah.
Especially we did a series called House Calls where we run around to people's homes and actually help them with their home haunting.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like an open call. So people just reached out to us and we're just going to these people's houses. So it was like, okay, we're hearing you out, but we need to document this. We need to prove this ourselves. We're not just going to instantly be like, oh, it's the most haunted place in the world unless
Was it
we're
all
experiencing
over?
something. What's that?
Was it all over, or is a specific area for people's house calls?
That was all over America. Yeah, we went, you know, East Coast, West Coast, in between, all over the place.
Have you been to the Amityville, by the way? Have you ever been to that
No,
spot?
they don't allow filming out there. We've tried so many times to get out there. I think even one time it was for sale, and we're like, can we get enough just to buy it and film it and then flip it or something?
Yeah, right.
But then I guess the town itself passed like a law where they're not even allowing people to film. Like they're not giving out permits to
The
film.
vibe was
like
that horrible.
Yeah, they're just shutting it down.
Like, this isn't your clown show.
But we've done like the Conjuring house, you know, where the original Conjuring movie was inspired from. Actually, new season comes out. I'm gonna do the plug. April 16th. It launches with a 2-hour special. We did the original Poltergeist house.
Wow.
The original Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of curses with that. A lot of like the crew.
Yeah,
and
the crew
cast, like passed away.
The young girl that
right?
was one of the stars of the movie passes away, right?
Is that the one in Culver City?
I think it's in Simi Valley.
Okay, it's mistaken, but there's one in Culver City, if I'm not mistaken, for like something else that's based on a real story.
Oh, right. Probably. I mean, there's so many on it.
That's like a whole movie based out of that. Just the name's not coming to me, but there's like certain houses. Like, is it weird to come in, like, I guess, to come in contact with all these different energies, and like, what do you do to like premeditate for it? And do you ever have to deal with any of the repercussions from it?
Like the
Because a lot of-
residuals.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing, like, people are like, oh, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
This is our life. Like,
Yeah.
It's
spiritual
it's
energy attaching
intense.
to you.
Like, we go out there, we open ourselves up, and, you know, we kind of talk. We were like, when the four of us get together, there's something about our energy. And, like, you know, anyone that's in, like, you know, I'm sure you know, with the band, when you get the right guys together in music, like, it just clicks and it opens up, like, this other world. And I think the four of us getting together and we doing this over and over again, it's the same kind of energy. It just opens up this connection. You know, and it has been tough. You know, I've been doing this for so long. I've gone up and down. I've seen the guys go up and down. Have attachments, different things following us home.
You personally have had an attachment yourself?
Yeah,
How did you go about, like, because have you been a spiritually conscious person all your life? Because I imagine if you're conscious to it, you're able to tell, you're like, fuck, this is more than just bad luck at some point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what was happening to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been open to it my whole life, and we can get into that. I have some crazy stories even before the show even happened. But some of the stuff, it's just like, I'm a very easygoing, relaxed guy, positive, you know, but I'll come home and I just feel like aggressive. I feel angry. I'm not in a good mood. I'm just, nothing can shake me out of it. And there's no reason, like, not even anything happened.
That unexplainable energy.
Exactly. One of the big things, I've had stuff in the past that personally come home with all of them. Like, I've had the guys, like, you know, call me, like, we all communicate all the time. We're family, and like call in the middle of the night and be like, hey, something was just in my room. I jumped up. I thought someone was in here, but there's no one here. You know, this kind of stuff. And this was earlier on. I think now we're definitely better. We've kind of learned how to ground ourselves, how to kind of
You have tools to deal with it. Yeah.
You know,
How do you cleanse yourself?
so with me, it's honestly, it's a lot of engulfing myself in positivity.
Right.
I'm a spiritual person, so I believe in more like positive and negative energy.
Right.
You know, however you want to label that, whatever you want to call it, that's fine with me. But like, ultimately, that's what I believe. So when I feel like, all right, something's coming on me, what can I do? I love nature, so I'll go hiking. I play in a band, so I'll go and just start playing music. I go to my studio and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna
Snap you out of
start
it.
playing some music.
Yeah.
I, you know, play with my dogs. You know, hang out with my family. Just stuff that makes you feel good and just kind of block it away. I grew up with two older brothers, and it's funny. I kind of tell the story where, like, you know, I was picked on as a kid, nothing major, but like just older brother kind of bullying,
Normal.
messing with you kind of shit. And I feel like it's almost the same with like negative energies. Like if you focus in on it, it's just going to get worse. But I learned with my brothers, like one day, it's ridiculous. I remember my one brother was like holding me down and doing like the little spit and like slurping it back up. And I'm just like, like fucking Alex.
Straight bullying.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I was just like, whatever. I was like, just do it. Like, and then he was just like, this isn't fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And
No
he
fact.
stopped doing it. And then they stopped, you know, messing with me.
When you gave in and weren't necessarily fearful of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It loses that.
The value to him.
Exactly. And then they stop doing it. So I think it's kind of the same thing with spirits. You know, the more you feed into it, the more it's going to happen. But, and of course, it's easier said than done, because if you're waking up in the middle of the night and there's some creepy old lady hanging over your bed or grabbing you or anything, it's not an easy thing to ignore.
Shit right in my pants.
Oh, right.
Actual
100%.
shit. Let me ask you this. How does it affect like your relationships, like with your family and significant others and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's tough. There was an incident. I mean, it's been many years now, but my ex-wife actually had an incident where she got possessed on the show.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
she was our behind-the-scenes photographer, so she would travel around doing all the photography promos and stuff.
You put that on her. Don't lie.
No, and it was crazy, and you could see it's on it. It was we did this place called Goatman's Bridge outside of Denton, Texas, and we're just doing our interviews, and all the interviews are like with women that's saying like it seems like it affects women more, and then all of a sudden we look behind the scenes and we see her just like piercing, like, and we're like, are you okay? And she starts telling us like, I don't feel right, I'm getting these urges, just like I want to hurt you guys and things like that.
Whoa.
And then basically like she just kind of got overtaken it. But I give her credit, she went out, she was like, I want to face this, so she went out during the investigation by herself into the woods and, you know, basically faced this head on. But when she came home, it just wasn't the same, and it felt like this negative cloud just kind of lingered over, and, you know, we eventually split. But, you know, from what I've seen in here, she's doing better, which is great.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's the craziest place that you went to that you would not visit again?
I don't know. I think I'm probably crazy enough where, like, I'll go anywhere again.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, I've had stuff that were absolutely traumatizing. There was a place in Prescott, Arizona, this old saloon, and I'm crawling through a crawl space where they feel like a evil entity was down under the base there. And I'm crawling through, nothing's happened. I have a camera in front of me, and I'm a pretty guy. I'm a big guy. I'm over 6 foot, and I'm crawling through, and all of a sudden something grabs my leg. And I have the camera in front of me so I can see back on the monitor. There's nothing behind me. It pulls me backwards. I drop the camera, and I actually slide away from the camera, and you can see there's nothing behind me pulling me. And, you know, I'm in a crawl space about this big, so I'm trying to jump. There's dust, there's dirt everywhere. I'm kicking and yelling and freaking out. And I don't know what it was. You know, I have no idea. We look back at the footage, there's nothing there, but you see me clearly get pulled back.
How long till it let go?
It was quick. It was just like a pull back, and then that was it. And then, you know, my freaking and frailing around, and, you know.
That would be
yelling and-
fucking traumatic.
Yeah.
Word.
And then
Man.
what's crazy too is you climb out. I finally climb my way back out, and then Aaron's there with the camera, like in my face, like, what just happened? And I'm just trying to comprehend what happened. So now I have to also like deliver this to help, you know, the audience understand what just happened.
Yeah, trying to gather yourself
it's
after
wild.
something like that is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's probably like one of the most personal, like physical, crazy things that have happened. I've had scratches.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Jersey.
Oh, in
South
Jersey.
Jersey, just outside of Philly.
It's haunted too.
Oh yeah.
Well, a lot of every
Yeah.
state there's
Oh,
there's
100%.
Well,
places,
their first 13 colonies are tend to be like super poor haunted.
Oh,
because they
definitely. I was
yeah.
outside like the Pine Barrens, so we have like the Jersey Devil lore growing up.
Yep.
and-
Great episode on The Sopranos, too.
Oh, right.
And
Oh,
Barons,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
100%. I grew up like exploring that stuff and like sneaking into like old abandoned mental hospitals, things like that.
Oh, so you were like a night crawler, bro. You were just like at night,
I
probably
was
like
all
just
into
go
it.
into places that you should. So you were you've been having that I guess that
explorative.
that
vibe,
explorative
yeah.
want like need since you were a kid. Like was it always for the paranormal? Like
No, I think with me, like I grew up, you know, like I said, I was the youngest son, so I kind of had free reign. My parents, you know, were good parents. They still are good parents. But they kind of let me explore what I wanted to explore.
They gave you the freedom.
Exactly. So I was super into just knowledge, learning things. Honestly, music was the biggest thing. Music was my first love. I remember in 5th grade playing Green Jello's Three Little Pigs for our 5th
Green
grade talent
Jello,
show.
that's right. Yeah.
And you know, which honestly, like that time, like I think when I started peaking as a creative, it was in that like early 90s music scene where like grunge and, you know, honestly, I remember Black Sunday coming out and just being like, holy shit, like this is what awoken me creatively. Like that whole time period, like I feel like that's the spark. And I think during that time, you know, I got super creative. I was weird. I was a skater kid. I was, you know, but like I did good in school. Like I was kind of a nerd too. I loved to learn. I loved studying and just learning weird shit. And I grew up just kind of always wanting to know more. And like I think that's something we all want to know. Like, you know, what is more than just this?
So you said you were pretty normal for the most part. Like you wouldn't say that you're one of these people that grew up with like a paranormal gift or something, because you know there's some people that grow up and they're just like, hey bro, like I got like this sixth sense, like I could see shit. You just kind of just wanted to see, you seeked it out. You don't have any of those gifts?
No, I mean I think doing the show so long, I've learned to trust my body. Like you could walk into a place and like, you know, people ask like, oh, what's your favorite piece of equipment we use on the show? And honestly, the first thing is ourselves. You know, we can go in something, you can be like, all right, there's something in this area. Like, I'm not saying I'm psychic, I'm not a medium or anything, but from doing it, you feel it.
Is that the term, like you hear people like my spider senses kind of going off, that type of thing?
Be like that. Like you kind of just be like, all right, there's something here, but then we bring out equipment and then we actually document stuff happening, then it just justifies our feelings, and it's like, yeah, that's...
Let me ask you this. Out of the four of you, right? Because you guys have been a collective for a while doing this. Who is the one who gets the biggest reactions to the entity, spirit, energy? It seems like y'all be sending Aaron in to do the
yeah, I mean,
the gnarly
definitely
work.
Gone through. I think in the later years, it's funny because there's times where Aaron and I are investigating together, and then he's now been like, all right, Jay, like I got seniority, like you go in there.
Now he sends you. Because for a minute it was him, right?
Yeah. So I think he's kind of relieved. You know, I've kind of taken, but he still gets thrown in. But we all do. We kind of take turns. You know, kind of. You know, then that's a fun thing about our show too, is that we have 100% creative control. There's no producers, no network that's like, this is what you got to do, this is how you do it. Like it's literally just the four of us running around playing.
It's unfolding how it's unfolding
and trying to figure it out as it goes. You know, we don't do a lot of prep. We kind of show up to a location. We know what interviews we have. We have a little bit of history, and then as we go, we explore it, and we just kind of go wherever we need to go with it.
Would you say the biggest reaction to you guys was that day you got pulled through, where you got pulled through that crawl space?
Right, that was definitely one of them. I mean, there's just so many things I've seen. Like
who had the gnarliest experience out of the four of you? Would you say?
I
mean, because it all's got to be pretty gnarly.
Yeah, there's so many, and there's different levels too. I think that was a big one for me, like physically. I've had scratches appear on me.
But do you feel them as you're getting them, or
Yeah, I was filming, and all of a sudden I just felt my arm burning, and I pull my sleeve up, and you just see a scratch just appearing, and it just starts appearing more and more on camera.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple episodes.
Wild. I've had that on my arm, the back of my neck once. So stuff like that's crazy.
The one that freaks me out with you guys is when I see when you guys start breathing hard, when you start that whole like taking away your breath type, trying to catch your breath.
Yeah.
That gives me the vibe of like something's like taking over you and including your
like
breathing
I'm
now.
Squeezing you.
Yeah, like an elephant's on your chest type of thing, you know? That would freak me out.
I think that's one of the hardest things that we've experienced is the personal, physical reactions we get, you know, which is also, sometimes it's hard to translate to a television audience, but it's what's happening. I remember one time we were at that place, Goatman's Bridge, and I look at Zach, and this was an evil spot, and he just starts like squeezing his neck, and he's just, like literally I saw his hands like digging in. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Stop. And he's like, I can't. And I just literally had to pry his hands.
He didn't know he was doing it.
And like we tackled him to the ground and like pulled his hands away. I had to stop him.
What happened in that spot that makes it so evil?
So the history of that spot was there was a goat farmer that used to go over the bridge all the time. Like he would use that bridge. It was called Goatman's Bridge, and he would use it. But I guess the story is like the Klan came in and hung the guy, and it's like super fucked up dark history. And it's like him kind of now being like, whoever comes out here, I'm
fucking you up.
I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, unsettled spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. That's why we have all these places, because a lot of people met their end in a very fucked up way, and as more blood drops in that, let's just say area, region, or spot, it's a magnet for more of it.
100%. There's a thing called the stone tape theory, I don't know if you know, there's a Japanese scientist called Dr. Emoto that did a series of water experiments where he took like water from like the beautiful spring mountain, froze it, looked at it under a microscope, and it was these beautiful crystals, like beautiful symmetrical sacred geometry looking stuff.
Yeah.
Then he took water from like the gutter in the middle of the city and froze that, and that was malformed, disfigured.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's interesting. So then he took it a step further and he projected love to the water that previously was, you know, lack of a better term, kind of gross and ugly. He projected love to it for a while, refroze it. Now it was beautiful formed symmetrical crystals. Then he did the opposite. He took the water that was nice, projected hate and anger to it, and he froze that. And now those crystals now are all malformed, disfigured looking. So then he basically repeated this over and over again, and it proved that positive and negative energy can actually affect us on a molecular level. So to what you're saying is like if you're going to a building and there was like a mass murder, a massacre, anything that has an organic surface, like the human body is what, 70-80% of water.
Right.
You know, wood has water, stone has water, like it all has it in there. And if it can change on a molecular level, that stuff, you have this heightened massacre, crime, death that happened. Even if you clean it out, but some of that building is still there, the ground is still there, that energy, it has a memory.
Yeah, the energy is still there.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, it relates to even like accidents on streets that like you could go down. Let's just say, for example, in the valley, there's a spot on Balboa and I believe it's Lassen, and there's an In-N-Out there. There's a McDonald's and a couple other shops in a gas station. At that spot, always an accident, and a lot of times, yeah, you know, it's just a common accident, but sometimes, I mean, throughout the time that I lived there, probably about 18 years, there was like many deaths in that spot, at the exact same fucking spot on that on those particular streets. And I feel like that's like everywhere, whether it's on purpose, like someone killing someone, or just the act of someone dying in that spot in such an aggressive way, like a car crash, the impact of that.
Absolutely. Energy is a contagious thing. You know, I think about it where like, you know, you get up in the morning, you start your day, you're in a good mood, you go to the coffee shop or whatever, someone slams the door on you. Now you're like, fuck, like kind of brings you down a little bit. And then you go in and maybe the person messes up your order, but you're kind of, you give them an attitude now because you're already in a bad mood. And then they go around and then they pass it to someone else, and that bad energy just keeps going. But it's the same thing with positive energy. You can turn it around. You know, I'm sure you meet people that are just like, man, just even just saying hi to you just makes me feel better, you know, like.
You could totally manifest the positive energy. It's what you tell yourself, you know, before you go to sleep and when you wake the fuck up.
100%.
You know,
have you ever ran into like an abundance of a spot that wasn't negative energy, that it was like positive energy, you know, like.
I mean, we tend to focus more on the negative because, I don't know.
Better TV.
The stories are more, you know, interesting. And I think like our show specifically, like early on, we kind of dove into like the darker stuff, the darker stories, and it kind of just became more of our thing, I guess. I don't know.
Well, hauntings aren't necessarily, you know, are always associated with, you know, like bad vibes.
Yeah,
bro.
but we do encounter good spirits. There was a case we did in Texas, which was pretty wild. It was like this big old mansion that we were investigating, and the woman who owned it, we brought her in for a little bit, and we were investigating with her, and we were using a spirit box, which basically scans radio frequencies really fast, and words can come through. And on top of that, when you ask questions and it's relevant, it's like, all right, this is super cool. So we're doing it, and this word comes through. I forget what it was, like, you know, some weird, like, aberdash or some weird word came through, and we're like, whatever. She just starts crying, and we're like, whoa, what happened? Like, what? And she's like, that's my mother who's passed away. She's like, that was our code word, that if she ever was to come back, that's what to look for.
Wow.
And it's like, whoa. And it was a beautiful moment. Like, like, we all teared up. We're like, you could feel that positive energy, and it was a beautiful moment.
Did you bring one with you?
Nah, I should have.
On the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, just like there's negative energies, there's positive ones. It's just you don't hear about that so much because it's people want to see other people be scared shitless.
Exactly. And
before a beautiful moment.
Yeah, the fear, unfortunately, in today's world drives the headlines. You know, that's what
always
media pushes. You know, they always push the bad side of the story, and even if it's good later, they don't follow up usually, or it's just like one little blurb and like there you go.
Yeah.
You said a lot of stuff happened when you were younger that was even crazier. Like, what's one of those experiences that you can share?
Yeah, so probably the craziest. I was probably around 18, 19 years old. We just finished band practice, and my whole band were like, all right, we want to go out. Let's play the Ouija board tonight, and like,
Oh, shit. All right.
we want to get crazy. We really want to experience this.
You took it there, huh?
So we got candles, we got a dish of water, a dagger, incense, anything we could find that was like kind of a ritualistic vibe. We're like, let's go all out tonight, and we want to experience this. So we're doing the Ouija board. It's going around, it's moving, and it starts saying it's a little kid, and its name is Z-O-Z-O, and we're like, all right, whatever, like that's weird. But then I noticed the incense smoke goes up and it comes down to the dagger.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. So I pick up the dagger, I move it to the other side of the board, incense changes.
Goes to the dagger again.
The dagger again. I'm like, all right, hold on. Moved it again, incense would change. And I was like, guys, check this out. Everywhere I moved the dagger, the incense would change and go to it. So we're like, all right. And then I said, are you attracted to the dagger? It goes right to yes. And we're like, all right, cool. Like, and then honestly, it's probably the stupidest question I've ever asked anything. I said, can you come through the dagger into us? And then it said yes. So we all stopped for a minute. We're like, all right,
let's take our hands off this fucking
like,
board.
All right, all right, but like this is what we wanted,
Right.
We wanted to go all out. We wanted to experience this. This is what we're looking for. And so we're like, all right, who's going to do it? So me and my buddy were like, all right, we'll both hold it. The dagger was in a sheath, so you could hold on to the blade end. So we lay on our backs, and we're laying there. We're each holding the side of the dagger. We're like next to each other, parallel. And we're like, all right, you can come into us, like come through and come into us. And all of a sudden, I felt just sadness, like just pure sadness from my heads to my toes. Like just, it was the weirdest feeling. Like I never felt anything quite like that, where it's just like you're sad to your bone, And my buddy jumps up, knees on my shoulders, trying to pull the dagger out of the sheath. And he's like just staring at me. I'm fighting with him, and he's up top. He pulls the dagger out and lunges it towards my throat. I'm holding him back. Now the dagger's like past my chin. It's like right here. I'm shaking, holding him back as hard as I can. This probably goes on for like 30 seconds. He goes totally limp, starts full crying, full tears, had no idea what happened, what was going on.
Whoa.
And we're like, all right, we're done. We're good.
Yeah.
Like we got more than what we wanted. And then it was crazy because then what was weird is like fast forward many years later, I'm doing the show and we're doing a case in Oklahoma where this guy talks about this demon that comes through Ouija boards called Zozo, which is Z-O-Z-O.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, like
that's the same.
That's what we encountered back then.
He's like the demon in the party line.
Yep. He's gonna answer every time.
Exactly. So then we're doing the Ouija board, and it's me and the guy who had this experience in Oklahoma, and he knows nothing about me. I haven't told this story yet, like publicly or anything. This was earlier on, and we're doing the Ouija board, and it starts saying the Z-O again. I was like, have we ever met? And it's like, yes. And I was like, what did you try to do to me? And it said kill. And I was like, how? And it said stab. And I was like, all right.
Damn.
This is crazy.
He's still kicking
Too
it
real.
Right.
He said, I'm still waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Be real, you ever seen your weed smoke do that with the follow wherever the weed
It only follows me. It follows me wherever I go.
You ever just see your weed smoke?
That would be a trip, though, to see that shit, though. Like,
put a joint in put for the old man in the altar.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking smoke leads.
Actually, there was a time, it's not on the show, but we were staying, it was like old, like, it used to be like Indian land, Native American. And we felt like there's a spirit was in this one room. It was like a Airbnb kind of rented thing. So we lit a cigarette and we're trying to communicate. And I swear I held it out like this. And I was like, here's a peace offering. And it cherried up like it, it glows like if someone was hitting it. And we're like, holy shit.
well, in like the world of like it's the spiritual world of let's just say Yoruba, Ifa, Santeria.
Oh, yeah.
One of the ways to appease some of the spirits, whether it's a divinity or a spirit that has passed away or some kind of energy, one of the ways to appease it is with tobacco. They use a lot of the tobacco smoke through cigar smoke and rum and things like that to chill out whatever entity or spirit that might be present.
It works. I have a little pouch of tobacco that I carry in my bag that, when we're in certain areas, I'll just sprinkle some out before, not even on camera. Like I'll just do that just before I leave, just to kind of be like,
Not even burn it. You just throw it on the floor.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Kinda
mean,
leave
just
it.
having the pouch and leaving it.
But that goes back to the idea of positive, negative energy.
Right.
It's that positive energy being like, look,
It's an exchange.
right, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a bridge you're building. Hey, I'm offering you this as respect.
Right.
And
Like we're cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you say not all the spirits that you encounter are all coming from a negative space?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of negative. There's a lot of positive stuff, like neutral stuff, and then there's stuff that's just like straight. I don't even know. Demonic, I guess, is the only.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know.
Yeah,
like, if
some of
that's
them are
the proper
different.
term, but like, what else do we call them? You
Well,
know?
some of the energies are different. You
Mhm.
know, some of them are demonic, and some of them are spirits from people that have passed on. There's all kinds
Exactly.
of different energy.
You know,
out
and then we
there.
do. There's a case in the new season called Rispin Mansion. It's up near kind of Santa Cruz, and we go in there, and you could see that there was like rituals. There's like satanic symbols and things like that on the ground. So like sometimes we go to these places, and these are like people are conjuring this stuff. People are opening up these portals, and a lot of them, like, you know, people see movies and TV shows, and maybe even ours too, because we've experimented with that kind of stuff just to see what will happen in the space. But then they do these things, and whether it's bad, you know, intent or not, like even if they're just messing around, like when I was messing around with the Ouija board as a kid, like you're still opening that up.
Yeah.
And they're probably not doing it right. They're probably not cleansing. They're probably
don't
not
know how to
shutting
close it.
down. Exactly. And
That's-
then that, you know, who knows what's coming through that.
That's the other thing. You know, if you're going to open the box, you got to know how to close the box.
Absolutely.
Because
It's
the
a huge part.
residual energy will follow you around.
Yeah.
Has anybody played it here besides him?
No, I always stood away from it. Like my older cousins had it, and I know they fucked with it now and then. They used to fuck with me and my younger cousin with it. You know what I mean? Like bring it out.
Right.
Like, hey, no.
Yeah, my
put
sister
that
used to
shit
do the same thing. Like they would fool around with it, and I was always, I don't know, it kind of spooked me out always. I'm not at that point in my life. I wasn't very spiritual, but I knew that there was something like strange about that thing.
It was marketed as a child's toy, bro.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
sell it
crazy
at the
thing.
toy aisle.
And it's
They no longer sell it at the toy aisle.
no.
Like, I
And it's
checked
not.
for it, but
It's
No,
not a
no,
child's
no.
toy.
yeah, it's a portal.
It's a portal.
Yeah, it's a divination tool. I remember like researching it. Some of that goes back to like way back where like they weren't even using a board. Like during like the witch trial days, they would actually use flour.
Yeah.
And they would kind of like write letters and things in the flour, and that way if someone came in, they could just be like, "Oh, nothing's going on here."
Yeah.
You know, like, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Just blow it over.
Let me ask you this: has anyone ever tried to dupe you guys? Like, say, you know, like you said that people all over the United States, oh, we have something going on here, blah blah blah. Have they ever like tried to, like, no other word, but dupe you?
Right? No, I know what you mean. I don't know. There was one case that I am questionable about. The thing is, like, we go into it skeptic, but we tend to get evidence, and we're like, all right,
Invalidate.
maybe it's not as crazy as maybe you're claiming, but there's some stuff going on here. We had some experiences. We called some evidence. So, like, there's something here. There was a case in Seattle where this guy was making huge claims, like 666, which is a pier written on the walls. Like his pants would be nailed to the wall when he wakes up in the morning, and like posters would catch on fire. Like real.
That's yeah. It seemed like a lot.
Real over the top stuff. So we're like, at first we're like, this is great, sure, like that's this is perfect, So we went there, and honestly, nothing happened the whole time. We still aired the episode.
He just wanted to get on TV because there's those people, right?
Right. I mean, there could be like, and that's the thing. I don't want to say it because and like we kind of left it as like, hey, while we were there, nothing happened. Like, we don't want to, talk trash or say any,
right,
claim anything, but like when we were there, nothing happened.
Yeah.
But that adds validity to you guys. You know what I mean? That you're not going to make something up, or
exactly.
If it didn't happen, it didn't happen.
Yeah, we call it debunking, which like we love doing that. Like, and there's times where like I remember one time we were in some place in like northern Nevada, I think, and Zach just like flipped out because he heard like a hiss and just lost his mind. Freaked out. It was a great moment, But then we're like, all right, what could it be? And we found out there was like one of those little automatic air fresheners plugged in the hallway that like every like 5 minutes would go,
Yeah, because there is that thing, because there is that thing where people might think they're experiencing something, and maybe it's just in their head at some point, but other things are very real when you could see that shit happening, and physical things are happening, like the scratches and when you see a chair just fly across the room and you know you didn't do shit to like make that happen.
Yeah.
What about ghost rape? We were talking about it.
Ghost rape.
Listen, hey, man.
I thought he would be the one.
No,
that-
listen.
that- you're the one brought it
Listen,
up. You were wrong.
absolutely.
You were wrong. Oh my God.
Yeah. What do you hear about these?
relationship here.
Have you heard of any of these things?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
We've heard stories from people that claim that things happen to them in the shower, in bed.
Right. Molested by
there's like,
ghosts.
well, that's what a incubus or a succubus is. Like
Yeah.
a spirit that
Oh, wow.
comes to you in the night and actually.
Yeah.
Succubus?
Yeah.
Whoa, what a name.
Well,
It's
'cause
a
one of
fucked
the-
up name.
Succubus coming in the middle.
It's like that movie, The Entity, and we were
Yeah.
talking about that. It's the same.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. They thought she was crazy until the husband actually witnessed it happening.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
some like I guess in some places they believe that when you're younger you become you're more vulnerable to to being mounted by different
Yeah,
spirits.
you're open up to it.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
like, children, and when you start phasing away from childhood and you start becoming a teenager, your body goes through changes. So you know how we like, oh, it's just wet dreams. Some cultures associate that as you being mounted by an incubus or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
As
it
that,
could be.
because of that, because it's just like, oh, you're susceptible to it because
Why do you got to
you're
get mounted,
pure.
though?
Well, that's the
I don't
term.
wanna
That's the
get
term they
mounted.
use well in the religion when it said, oh, it's your spirit gets
Like
mounted.
Avatar when they dock.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, Doc. No, whoa, man.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I asked the standard ghost rape.
No,
Yeah, well, hey, you
that's
asked.
Basic
alien,
facts.
alien.
You asked.
True
I
that.
thought it would be him, but like
That was-
you did it.
Right.
Wonderful answers.
But
But we've
that's
done,
an interesting take though that they look at it like that.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
it's not just it's not a meaningless wet dream because you're a horny teenager and shit. You got
You got
at
ghost
Grace.
rape.
you got ghosted.
You got ghost raped. Then.
We'll just call it ghosted, Callie. How about
Okay, yeah.
different kind of ghosted, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Or a ghost
Rephrase.
or ghost did.
I mean, because some places are more, they're more spiritually woke than some cultures than others.
Yeah.
Like Cuban people or Haitian people. Haitian people will be like, yo, like your cat starts looking at you weird. It's time to get rid of the cat.
Or if your
You know what
dog
I
is
mean? Or-
staring at the wall for
Yeah.
no fucking
Yeah.
reason, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I lived in Nashville for a while, kind of out in the countryside, just out there for a little bit, and not every night, but like so many times I'd catch my dog just woken up, and he was just staring in the one corner of my bedroom. He just kind of like,
But yeah, that's when you got to look. He's seeing something that I cannot.
exactly.
But now I know it's there.
I've seen him like follow stuff and kind of just be like, all right, and then like literally like followed something around the loft, down the stairs, walk around the living room, and like sit in the couch,
Yeah.
like next to it.
It's just I think it's also depending on how you react to it. Like when you're fearful, it's going to turn up the gas, especially if it's one of those mischievous
Yeah.
types of energies or even evil. It's like it knows that okay, I could scare the shit out of this person,
Yeah.
right? Or if you act like it's just an everyday thing, like, hey,
Right,
did
yeah,
you see that? Oh, yeah,
whatever.
I saw it. Yeah, whatever. I feel like it, like you said, they don't amplify as much because we've done that here. I mean, we had in the smoke box interviews, like we look back at some of the older ones and we see little fucking orbs flying around in there that we did not see as we're filming it, and sometimes we didn't even pay attention to it in editing. We just we're watching. Okay, yeah, it looks good. Put it out, and we get screenshotted by some of our viewers out there and say, "Hey, man, did you guys even look at this?" And you could see the fucking orbs flying around in the
Right.
smoke
You don't
that we did not notice.
Yeah.
because you don't see it right off the bat. I've noticed that, like, for my cat camera and the Ring camera, live view, you'll never catch it.
Right.
But I've seen like the footage of me leaving my house to the gym at like 5 a.m. or
Yeah.
my cats walking around at night, and I'll see fucking orbs just go.
shoot
But
around.
I've been on the live time, like, and you don't see
catch
that at that time. You have to go on the playback. It's
Yeah,
something
it's
about the playback
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. They catch things in a different from a different view that we can't, because that's
Well, a lot of it's so quick too that it's almost like your eyes can't process it in
Yeah.
real time sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And
When
what's
you're
your
watching
take?
playback, it works.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
What's your take on, like, we're talking about animals? Like, I know for a fact that like cats are very spiritual, like in touch with the moon and the sun and things
Yeah.
like that. Like, do you find the same thing that a lot of animals, like on sites and stuff that you get to, that Have there been hauntings of animals and things like
Yeah,
that?
we caught a ghost cat once up in Wyoming.
Oh, damn.
And then there's a real cat in the room, and then we see like a shadow of a cat, and the real cat's actually trying to interact with this shadow-shaped cat thing.
Wow.
Right.
That was pretty wild to see. But I mean, I think kind of what you were saying and you're saying, like animals, kids, like I think all of us, like we all have a connection. We're all connected in some unknown universal subconscious thing that brings us all together. But as we get older, we lose that connection. You know, it's just life. We have to work. We got to make money. We worry about this. We start, focusing more on this. But you go back to like, more ancient times and older times. There's so much, more connection to the earth and the stars. And, that we didn't have TV. You look at the sky. You're more connected.
What do
And
you
I think we
about
all have that,
dogs?
but we lose that.
You think dogs have like a sense? You know
Oh,
what I mean?
100%, yeah.
'Cause I'll see my dogs literally just like start looking at some shit
Yeah.
that ain't there, start growling. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you looking at?
So my dog's
there ain't nothing over there. you know?
He's 13 now, so he's been with me the entire
Me too, I
time
got
I've
a
had the
13.
show, and he's 100% sees things. And I just got a new puppy. I got a Sholo, which is it was like the Aztecs believe this dog actually helped guide spirits to the afterlife. So I got one of them to be like, all right, if there are any spirits, maybe that
Maybe
dog
he
will actually
guides
help
them,
me, like guide them away. you
Yeah,
know?
get him out.
Exactly.
That's a good move.
Yep, I would have done this.
That's
And-
well thought. Because I mean, you guys are around all that energy all the time. To have something like that, that's
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
And I think what I do at my house particularly, I have one room where I kind of keep, some souvenirs, collection, things I've collected that probably have energy attached to them.
Yeah.
But I give them their space. It's like a respect thing. It's like, all right, this is your area. I have a poker table in there, like, and like it's always fun when we're playing. Weird shit happens, like people love it, but like that's your space. Like rest of the house, I try to make it very zen, peaceful, relaxed.
You ever been like, brushing your teeth in the morning and then all of a sudden just get like somebody stop by to say hello type thing? Have you ever gotten one of those?
Right?
Like,
not so much. I mean, honestly, like I turn it off, like as much as I can. Like there's times, not so much in the morning, but like, like there's times where like, I just can't sleep. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go down and kind of chill on the couch until I get tired enough to go back to bed. And 3, 4 in the morning, I hear stuff walking around, like and things like that, and I'm just like, all right, nope, I don't even want to pay attention to it.
Do you guys ever get suggestions of spots to investigate from other celebrities that like maybe watch your guys' show and say, hey man, I went to this hotel one time or this such and such and this happened. You should check it out.
Yeah, not too much directly, but we've brought in like special guests at times. And I've been surprised at how many people are actually into it too.
Yeah.
That's one thing on a grander scale, like doing the show. I've had so many people reach out and say like, hey, like 20 years ago, you would be crazy for even talking about this. Like we would be locked up sharing these stories. Like, all right, get in the padded room, like you're nuts.
Yeah, you guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah. So it's kind of given a community, it's given a conversation where people can talk and explore these things.
Yeah. It's almost like the UFO community.
Yeah. But like meeting, different celebrities and people. We had Post Malone come out once and he did an investigation with us. And it was like, holy shit, like you're hardcore into this. And like even since then he's been ghost hunting after that. And
Yeah, I
just
thought I
his own
seen
little
him do that.
He
Yeah.
got hexed, right?
Yeah, he came to the museum and
Oh boy.
some shit fucked him up there.
Well, because
Big B-Real, he's into that stuff.
he went to the museum in Vegas, and they were showing him a Divic box, which is something that I guess I don't know where it's from, but it's meant to.
Yeah, it was from the Holocaust. It's like a Jewish box where like I don't want to say a Jewish witch, but like she basically like
Cursed
all
it.
this like negative energy and things that was going on during the Holocaust and kind of put it all into this box.
And he touched it.
Yeah, well, he didn't even touch it directly. So what happened, he was hanging out after hours and Zach touched the box and he was being affected, and then Post touched Zach and he felt it like it passed through him, and then it just got weird. And I think after that, like he had like there's like 3 things that happened.
His
to him.
plane
This is like
Right.
that one sailor puppet they call it's like what's it called?
It's right there.
It's in, I think it's in Vegas or something, or it's somewhere, but it's on display and they tell you don't touch it unless you ask.
Robert the doll. I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to ask its permission. If you touch it without permission, then a lot of bad shit happens to you till you come back and apologize or something.
and where is that out in Vegas?
Oh, it has no
I
face.
think that's
Yeah, it has no
yeah,
face.
I think it's in Florida. I think.
Yeah, that's in Florida. Yeah.
But we have in the Haunted Museum, there's plenty of dolls that are like that. There's a doll called Peggy that's upstairs in the museum, and we were filming stuff at the museum, and then one of our like producer editors was getting B-roll shots. He does all the B-roll stuff for us, and he kind of like he's been with us forever, but he's kind of like I don't know yet, because he's not investigating with us.
Right.
He went into Peggy's doll and he just looked right at Peggy and he's like, "Fuck you," and he said all of a sudden, his nose just started gushing blood.
Whoa.
And I remember, like, we weren't there, and he called us, and he's like, guys, like, this is just happening. He sent us, like, a video of it happening.
That's fucking
and he's
gnarly.
like, all right. He's like, I believe it, guys. I believe
Some
it.
Cali Blade shit.
I would definitely. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I would definitely do that to the doll. Like,
And you'd be running out.
I don't believe in this. The next thing you know, bloody.
He'd go up and be like, cunt.
Ruin your nice shirt.
That's happened a few times. I had a friend, Zach and I, we produced a documentary called Demon House together, which was a house in Gary, Indiana. It kind of broke the news where it was like one of the cases where social workers got involved with a family and they were claiming it was demonic possession, but like the chief of police, social workers, hospital workers all saw and witnessed, like all these credible witnesses saw all this paranormal stuff happen. So Zach ended up buying the house, and we spent a couple years us going out there and investigating it. We made it into a documentary. And with that place, like, it was just, that was probably one of the most, like, pure evil places,
I bet it was cheap to buy that house.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, definitely.
Take
right?
this shit.
It was,
How hard was it to sell it after,
right?
though?
I think he might still have it, honestly. Like,
It's been on the market for a while.
Yeah.
Trace is looking for a piece.
There was a funny moment. We were outside filming, and we have all this camera equipment. There's just a few of us, like, we didn't have a big crew or anything, and we're filming it. And all of a sudden we look, and there's just like maybe 4 or 5 dudes just coming hard, and we're like, oh fuck. We're like, all right, here we go. Like, this is Gary, Indiana. Like, this is it. Like, and then they walked up, and they're like, yo, and we're like, yep. And they're like, are you the ghost guys? We're like, yeah. And they're like, oh shit, we love you guys.
Oh,
we're
man.
like, oh, cool, thank you.
Gave you a fucking scare worse than the house.
Right.
Huh?
I was like, all right, cool. But my original point with Demon House was I brought on a camera guy, a friend of mine, who if you watch the doc, he lost his mind. Like, he totally lost it. And off camera, I sat down, he's like crying. He went through a whole bunch of stuff that you could see on the doc. But then he was talking to me, and he's like, honestly, he's like, Jay, he's like, I know you do this stuff. He's like, I didn't believe it. He's like, I don't believe you guys really doing this shit, like.
He thought you were fucking with people.
Right. He's like, I've been out here filming with you guys for 2 days, and I've seriously lost my mind. He's like, I've seen things and experienced things that, like, it's like breaking down his whole sense of reality, and he literally had a meltdown, and we had to fly him back home early.
Well, because people are skeptics off top. They don't believe it till they see it.
Which is fair.
And some of us are tuned in from very young. I know I was tuned in since I was young into being spiritual and sensing things. Even if I couldn't see it, I could sense it. You know what I mean? And others are totally oblivious to it because they'd rather believe in nothing.
Right.
Or not just that. Maybe it's not available to them. Like,
Right.
I believe in it. Like, my mother's very, very good friend she was a very sane and normal woman. Like, was not an attention seeker. No, nothing that would ever make you think she would make this stuff up. And the things, how it was affecting her life, you'd have to literally be crazy. It's one or the other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either something's happening or you're batshit crazy. But my parents had both, before this was back in the mid-'70s, like when they went to this house, they seen shit. And my dad,
He's a straight skeptic, right?
doesn't believe nothing, and he was like, listen, I seen kids. And these kids weren't there, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I believed people who had seen it. I just never saw it.
Right.
So I'm
Never
not
had
even
the
a
experience
skeptic.
yourself,
That's what I was about to say. Not everybody doesn't believe. They just maybe haven't had that interaction. But I've definitely had, like, where you could say something like that. You feel something. Sure. Absolutely. They're just, like you said, good and bad.
Yeah.
You've walked into a place and like, yo, something is not right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just get that overwhelming feeling like something is fucked up here. I'm out. Like, yo, I'm just gone. And
You know what?
Places
Hold on.
very well.
Hold on one second. What were you going to say?
I think we got to do a what we do with him and go to the museum in Vegas.
I think that's not a bad idea.
That would be dope.
I think
I'll say this. For us, it's we don't fear it so much because, I mean, again, once we got in this building, even from the building we were at beforehand, or it could be that it followed us. But I think the one that's here is attached to this building, and the other one we had over at the other flower building was completely a different vibe. Because it's like you said, right? I think you know the vibe when you're around it, whether it's like some negative shit or it's like easy. And we've never had like a negative vibe with the energy that's in here. We've noticed that it reacts when the actual people within the building are being negative in some sort of way. We've seen it respond to that shit.
Right.
And if we're having like a lot of fun and we're talking about it, it might show up then. Like for instance, we were one of our good friends is a WWE legend, The Godfather, right? He would now and then, when come from Vegas, he's also in Vegas, he'd come and co-host a show every now and then. We were telling him about a couple of moments that happened here. Yeah. And he was kind of, he was being skeptical.
Yeah.
And as we're having the conversation, a cup moved towards him and he didn't even notice it.
Right.
None of us did.
Yeah.
And then like someone screenshotted that and showed us. Yeah. And then he came back, and was more mindful of
there it is.
As he's sitting here and we're talking about it, and the can is moving towards him and he's flipping out because, before he thought we were making it up.
Like, there's no way that should happen.
Yeah, I don't have special effects in here.
Yeah, people keep saying in comments they were back then, oh, you guys did this and that. We're like, we ain't do shit.
There's always going to be people that are trying to knock it down.
Someone tried to say it was condensation, but the can was dry. There was it was already like.
It was a hot fucking day.
Yeah,
bro. It was the way it's
like.
And then it happened. It happened in a few places.
Yeah.
Our guy Aton, he's one of our photographers out there. He was sitting at his desk and he had a bottle of water on his desk, and he's sitting there doing something, and it just moved. Here it goes right here.
Oh my! Yeah, and if it was an earthquake, something like that, everything
would
everything would move.
Yeah.
And we've seen.
And look at him. He was like, watch his face.
I just froze.
He's just exactly.
Yeah, we
like this. He sees it.
We've encountered we've encountered a number of things here, but it never bothered us because it didn't feel like it was aggressive and negative and shit like that.
Candy Blaze would have started swinging.
Yo, I would have been out of there. Like, yo, because he obviously saw it move. I was like, oh my god, I hope that's in the camera. Right. Once I had confirmation in the camera, I'd be like, check, please. That's it.
What's
Hey, we've documented everything that we've been able to see. There was only two things that we weren't able to get because this was like the first time it showed itself, right? We had another dude in here. He was talking a bunch of shit on this guy, and we were in this other room over there, and I was telling him, hey, slow down. Just, quit with the negative shit. And he just kept barking. And all of a sudden, a fucking lighter flew across the shelf onto the dab bar we were at, landed in front of him, and not him, but the guy who was talking shit, and it started spinning right in front of him. I said, hey, whatever is in here ain't with that shit you're talking, so just stop it.
Yeah.
About a week later, he came back in. He was talking shit again, and he had an expensive piece on, like a glass piece that cost him like $5,000 or something like that. Someone gifted it to him. He didn't spend it, but they valued it at 5 racks, right? So he's in here talking shit. I said, hey, slow down. And he keeps talking. Boom, the necklace pops off his neck, drops on the floor, cracks the piece, and the one remaining piece that's still not shattered is spinning in front of him again.
Like a lot, though. Like
a lot.
Yeah.
And we were telling him, hey, whatever is in here doesn't like this negative energy you're bringing in here. Just
what was his reaction to it?
He stopped talking shit.
That's good, at least, yeah.
Because he realized it happened to him twice. One, the lighter flung towards his area, and then his necklace pops off. And there was no reason for it to pop. It was locked in. It wasn't broken. It wasn't cheap. It just snapped right in front of us.
Yeah, and he's not like jumping around, not moving crazy.
Yeah, no, he wasn't doing any of that. He was just, a lot of flailing of the hands, talking shit.
Right.
And then pop. We were like, see? I told him, see?
Right,
pipe down,
Pipe down, $5,000 on the ground in pieces.
We had a guy, I don't think it was a $5,000, but his necklace, like he was just standing still. It was during a house calls, and all of a sudden we're just filming the interview, just getting and then all of a sudden we hear like something hit, and we're like, what the hell? And his necklace is on the ground, and then we look on camera, and you just see it just go and just pulls right down and lands on the ground.
Yeah. I believe that the energy in here feeds off positive energy. It doesn't like the negative shit.
Right. But it'll react. It'll react to the negative
yeah.
to be kind of like, stop that shit.
Yeah, so we believe because we've all seen shit here. It's some form or another. Whether someone sent it back to us and showed it because we were too busy in a conversation to actually see it. Yeah. I mean, we have plenty of that. One of our guys named C-, he's another host here. We were sitting here having a conversation. We didn't notice it happen, but whatever was in here twirled his fucking hair.
Damn.
Yeah. We were like, what the fuck is that?
That's cool. Yeah, we had that. It was in I think it was in Tombstone, Arizona. And the thing too, like we capture a lot of stuff, but we try to present it where it's like, all right, it's obvious, what's going on. And we had multiple cameras, thankfully, and you just see we had a girl in there because they were saying that they were attracted to women, the spirits. So we sent a couple girls in there, and you see her hair. She's standing perfectly still, and you just see her one like little lock of hair just go whoop, just like. And she was just like, "What the hell? Like something just touched me?" Or we're like, "No." And our original camera was like the angle where we couldn't see it. We're like, "Damn it!" Like we didn't get it. But then we found another camera that was like in the other room shooting through, and you could see it on that camera. We're like, "Oh, good, we got it."
I've never like. Well, there's one time. Most of the times when I've encountered this kind of energy through the traveling and shit like that, I never was freaked out about it. I was pretty cool because like it didn't seem like negative shit, right? But there was one time, Slipknot, I believe it was Slipknot. They were doing a record over at Rick Rubin's house that when he used to own the Houdini mansion. Yeah, I believe he owned the Houdini property. And there's the main house, and then there's a supposedly a tunnel that goes across to the smaller house that maybe the servants of Houdini used to live in and shit like that. Something happened in this house apparently, and apparently there was things that people experienced there.
Nice.
I knew this going in.
Yeah.
Right, we were at the Rainbow one of these nights, and everybody was like, "Hey, we're fucking going to, we're gonna go hang out with a couple of dudes from Slipknot and listen to some shit and hang out." Right, so I get there, and I'm with a group of people, and there's a few of us there. It's like a happening, right? And I was like, "Man, this place feels crazy," because I knew about it, but I also felt it the minute I walked in the door. Everybody went towards where the studio was or wherever everybody was going to listen to the music and shit like that. And I was standing there talking with somebody. It was just me and that person. And out of nowhere, I felt something tap the top of my head. And I turned around to see who the fuck that was because I thought it was one of my friends like fucking with me. There was nobody there.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Get the fuck out of here.
And now that Houdini mansion, that's like a famous like party spot studio. Don't they rent it or something like that?
I don't know if they do that, but I mean,
it's a famous house here up in the hills,
definitely
right?
a famous house. Houdini owned it, and supposedly shit happened there.
Well, Houdini was big into the occult and mysticism and things like that. And it's actually kind of funny. In the new season, we went to the Winchester Mystery House.
In San Jose.
Yeah.
Oh, with all the doors?
Oh, yeah. And we've been there, I think it's the third time we were there. And but this time we went specially because it was the 100th anniversary of Houdini's last visit. He used to go there, and he went there, and like 100 years ago, pretty much to the day, he went there and had this giant seance. So we went there 100 years later. We found the only known blood relative of Houdini, brought him in, and we conducted the seance like in the fashion that he would have in the same space. And I mean, I wish I could tell you everything, but like basically we caught photographic evidence that still just blows my mind.
Wow.
We're,
is that coming out on the new?
Yeah, that's coming.
Oh man, I can't wait to see that.
That's a trippy story about that Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah.
So it's what the widow of the Winchester rifle,
the rifles,
and all the people that were killed with it were haunting her at the house.
She felt the way to like please the spirits, to put the spirits at rest for all the ones that had died of the Winchester rifle. She just kept building the house, and there was no plans. It just had to keep building. So she built stairwells and doors,
crazy.
Windows.
She must have been a very spiritual person to feel that. Right, because I mean, you're a weapons maker, and many have gotten killed with that weapon in that time.
Yeah, Oppenheimer had no problem.
Well, did you
I
did
still-
you know of?
I don't
Did you know
I
of?
still haven't gotten through the 4-hour movie yet. So.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. 4-hour movies are fucking tough. I mean,
can't, yeah.
when it comes to streaming, I could do it because then I could just watch it, you know, stop it in an hour and say fuck it. If I'm not ready for the if I'm not ready for the full ride.
Bro, I
Yeah,
sit through
fuck
3-4 episodes though in a fucking series. When I'm binge watching, I'll sit for 3-4
Well, I think
hours.
that's what's weird too.
But don't say 3-4 hours. I won't start.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
but I'll
That's
keep
an-
being next on that motherfucker.
So is there something
sitting there
psychologically?
Yeah,
like,
it's all
if
psychological.
you know, I'll watch 6
5 in a
1-hour
row.
episodes in a row, but
Don't
3
call
hours
it
in
5
one
hours.
shot. No.
Yeah, you know, I think it's more palatable when it's like broken down like that.
Yeah.
Because when you see it in a big ass, you know, like this is the total of amount of time you're gonna have to fucking watch it. You're like, oh hell no, I ain't got
But you
time
know
for
why
that.
you're able to do that? Because we know that each episode we could walk away. They wrap up everything.
There's a
In an
break.
episode, there's a break that they wrap up everything.
Yeah.
In a movie, it has to go through the whole arc. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah.
you're not gonna walk out. You're not gonna stop.
Yeah, because
mid.
that is a
It's
good
not
point because you
satisfying.
might forget everything you just watched beforehand when you try
Start
to
again.
start again.
Yeah.
You don't
But-
get that recap.
Right, but episodes they'll replay,
Correct.
catch you up.
Yeah.
It-
Each
it's great.
episode, they wrap something up. So you can be like, all right, I'm good till next week.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like an intermission at a sports
Yes.
game or something.
Correct.
Like, all right, I
Oh,
can stretch. I can go get some
Yep.
food. You know.
Yeah, but I'd still prefer to do the long movie at the house because I can stop it. I'll put it on a fucking timer. Like when
Yeah.
it's a long movie like that.
Yeah.
But if it's good, you'll watch the whole
If it's
thing.
good, yes, I'll
gotta
watch
be.
the whole shit.
You know,
but
but there's like some those experiences. I mean, it's a whole nother level. Like when you're gonna do something like that, you either gotta go to like those super comfortable theaters,
Yes.
like those iPix or
Yeah.
those type
Ones
of
where they
theaters.
bring you the food.
Yeah, where they bring you the food and they
the
give you a
shit
blanket if it's
reclines.
cold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
iPicks are the best.
Yeah, or you gotta rent out like because it's not that crazy to rent out like a whole theater for just that
Oh yeah,
showing.
they're going cheap now.
Yeah, so you could just literally be like, hey man, look, it's gonna be a group of 10 of us. We're
Yeah.
gonna rent it out. Bart's is bringing the brisket.
Right.
It was like we're gonna watch this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Hey,
Parts bringing the
which spots are like the craziest to do in terms of like hospitals or asylums? Because I know you've done both.
Oh yeah. Hospitals, asylums are always crazy. Jails are actually really
Jails
really
too,
old,
yeah.
big jails. I mean, there's so much just
Ghosts try to stab you.
negative energy in there. Yeah, I mean, we've caught things that look like we have a machine called the XLS. I think it was the SLS back when we were using it. And basically, long story short, it uses infrared lasers to basically map out a system. It's like LiDAR mapping, and it knows the human form. So if it tracks, like if I'm shooting here and I get you, like it'll put a stick figure over your image, and basically like we were shooting that, and you know you'll see one of us, and I forget where it was, but you see one of us, and you see like a figure appear next to him, and they're just like you see the arm like moving into him, like they're like basically shanking them, and this was in a prison, you know, which was wild.
They're showing out while you're what they're filming.
Yeah.
They're just like even in death. Homie.
Yeah, we did another prison where they had a like an entertainment room where they had a little stage and let the inmates like perform music or do shows or whatever. And we were filming, we're using that device. All of a sudden, like 3 or 4, I forget how many, like appeared, and one's going like this, one's like this, and then one's going like this. And we're like, holy shit, it's like the prison band, like,
Yeah.
literally up on stage doing this. And you know, they ran through it and they stopped, and we were just blown away. We just started applauding. We're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. They literally bowed and then vanished.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was insane.
Oh man. Imagine you were microdosing at that time and saw that shit, bro. Oh my
gone.
God. Have a
Right.
ghost experience while you're microdosing. Have you guys done that yet?
Yeah, well, actually,
All right.
not by choice.
Not by choice. It popped up on you when you guys were just like,
yeah.
You must know Bobo.
And it probably wasn't even a micro, honestly.
it's a
And
macro.
I do feel like there is a connection. You know, you look at, you know, tribes, people for thousands of years have been using different, you know, substances to communicate and connect. And I do feel there is like, you know, expanding your consciousness to another level, almost like tuning a radio. It can help you tune in. For what we do, we try to be more on the scientific end as much. So we're running equipment, so we don't want to have any error.
You're trying to be clear.
Exactly. So that way it's like, it's always, I guess, more credible in a sense. Like,
Yeah.
just being like, all right, no, like we know we're good. But we did a case up at the Four Corners in Navajo Nation. in New Mexico, and we were going out. It was called they called it like Skinwalker
Yes.
Caves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we were going out there to investigate. And the day of the investigation, someone from the tribe reached out to us, and she was a medicine woman. She's like, "Oh, I want to do a blessing for you before you guys go out and do that." And we're like, "All right, let's do it." So like, can we film it? And she's like, "Yeah." So we film it, and she's doing through this ritual. She's, puts the paint on her face, and she's basically being like, "We're indoctrinating you as Navajo warriors to protect you while you go out here and do this." And we're like, "Thank you." And then I'm the first in line, and all of a sudden, just like, it's kind of gross, but like her hands just go like in my mouth. I'm like, "Oh," because she's doing shit, And I'm just like, "All right, this is nice." And then just feel a hand get shoved in my mouth, and then there was like a wad of something, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, that's weird." And then she does it to all of us, and by the end, I forget who was in the end, but they're like, "All right, I'll do it myself."
Yeah,
Let me just get that.
Yeah, I got the whole hand. And,
Salty.
yeah, and then so we filmed it, and then like maybe like 10 minutes after we're done, we're kind of like, all right, we got like maybe an hour to kill, and then we got to start setting up to do our investigation out in these caves. And all of a sudden, we're just kind of like, all right, like start looking at each other. We're like, you feel like kind of weird, like some. And we're like, yeah, like something feel really good, like something. We're like, what is going on? Like, and we're just kind of trying to figure it out. And we're like, holy shit! And then all of a sudden, we're like, we're tripping, like full on. And then
She gave y'all mushrooms.
She dosed you with her fingers.
Something she called. It was called. What was it like? I think she referred to it as devil's weed. Which is like, I guess from what I found out afterwards, is like it's a minor psychedelic that like just. It's like out in the desert, like it's like a weed that grows on the side of the highway, but like, you take enough of it and it, but it didn't last long. It wasn't like anything crazy, but it was probably a good amount of time. And then, but we're like, what do we do? And we ended up getting the SUV because we're like, oh, we don't want to see anybody else and do anything. And then we're literally like just driving in circles, doing donuts in the desert. We filmed it, we put it on the show, and we're all just like, all right, we're just hanging out until this kind of passes. And then it was probably only like an hour or so. I forget exactly, but it wasn't like.
Sounds like a good time.
So
it was fun, yeah.
So it just grows on the side of the highway, you say?
Yeah.
Have you talked to people who've done DMT experiments? Because a lot of people with DMT, they say when they go to a certain level, like they're seeing similar things. People are seeing the same type of things, these gnomes and things like this that you
like
read about.
Entities.
People are seeing that blindly before people tell them.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody too much directly, but I've done a lot of like research and reading into it, and it seems that like there's a lot of belief that like DMT is like responsible for our consciousness.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's what actually creates our vision of the world and what brings our consciousness to like a point so we can actually experience this life. And then when you think about it, like why do we have this insanely strong psychedelic compound in our brain? Like there's what's the use of it? And then they believe that it's released right before you die.
Yeah.
And it actually helps you like transition or like let your consciousness leave this body, and then whatever it is floats through the ether, the realm, whatever is in between, and then come back. There's actually a belief in Buddhism that I correlated with that, where they're believing basically you die and it takes 49 days to reincarnate. So I was like, okay, I always remembered that. And then when I was looking into DMT and like people's experiences with that, they found out that DMT is first released in the fetus's brain 49 days after conception.
Wow.
And I was like, that's pretty wild. So like, if you put those two
There's a
philosophies
correlation
together, you die 49 days, you're kind of floating around, and then basically 49 days, there's I don't know how it lines up, but then to conceive, and then 49 days later, your consciousness goes into
coming in and going out.
Yeah, like goes into this new vessel. Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, see, I'd rather just like wait till I die to experience that.
You will.
No, I've done it, but it's not nearly enough to. Like
you haven't done like the big hits.
I did the Jesus sand on the bowl, you know what I mean? And then I was just like it was cool. It was like very Tron-ish for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nearly like it wasn't like
I
was expecting. I was like, man, but I don't want to induce that kind of thing. Me personally, you know what I mean? I'd rather just wait till like, all right, bro, this is natural body response. If I start having a flashback to like some shit, I guess I'm about to die, or some shit.
Yeah, I think it's something it's a personal experience, obviously, because I think it does like it can expand your consciousness to a good or a bad place.
Yeah.
So depending on how you are, where you're at in your life,
And who the guides are with you at that point.
exactly.
And how you take it in. I think like a lot of people, like if you have a negative outlook before you go in, you're probably gonna have a negative experience.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Some people know like you're gonna have to have some negative experiences to get better. You know, like we all
Yeah, you
have
gotta go
ailments
through it,
in our
yeah.
head. Yeah. So sometimes people don't realize going through it is a good thing. You know,
Part of growth.
Yeah, even with mushrooms, anything that you go through it, you feel better after.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for that hash hole earlier.
Oh, my man.
It was on the 1 and the 2 and the 3. And if you want one of these, you can go to caliblaze.net. There's a big sale on hand-rolled and hand-rolled hash holes and pre-rolls. If you buy in bundles, you'll save a lot. Go to caliblaze.net for a discount. Use code BREALTV and get hooked up. And if you haven't smashed that like yet, smash it. I don't know what excuse you might have, but, you know, don't be distracted. Smash the like, subscribe, share the show out. Tell your friends we are in the building. And for those of you that signed on late, $20 super chat gets you hooked up with the sticker pack and pins and a bunch of cool shit. $50 super chat gets you a t-shirt and hat and a bunch of cool shit. $100 super chat gets you a mystery box with a glass piece of some sort and some other cool shit. If you've hit any of these marks or you intend to, email us at BRealTVcontest@gmail.com with your name, photo ID proving you're 21 and over, mailing address, t-shirt size, and shoe size, and we hooks you up. All right, we're about to get into the Insane Asylum. That means y'all in the live chat. If you got a comment, question, shout out, suggestion, we are here for it. Let's go.
Welcome to the Insane Asylum.
Yo, yo.
Yo.
How y'all doing? All right, submissions. I mean,
Yeah. It's on you. You must read it.
Bring it.
here we go. First one. Joaquin Rodriguez. Did Colton fold on rolling R's? Emilio still mad about missing the last name. Rivera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's talking about Bolton. You know, we got a dude who usually runs the board for us.
White dude.
And is on the mic. He's a white guy. And we've been trying to teach him Spanish for some years. And he gets stuck on rolling the R's. And yesterday we had actor Emilio Rivera.
That's a lot of R rolling right there.
And he could not. He actually stopped before he said his last name. And I want to thank Emilio. Emilio. Yeah. He needs to work on it. We don't. All right.
Is he like Emilio Rivera?
He didn't even go to the. He went Emilio. You know what?
Emilio.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right.
Next one's from Mr. Twakalak. Happy hunting.
Right on.
All right, thank you.
Have you been to Halloween Town?
The store? Oh yeah.
No. I mean like the actual the one in like
What is it? Which
I
one?
think it's in Oregon or something like that. It's like this.
Oh, I think like the one that's like all year round.
Yeah, all year round.
Yeah,
but
no,
there's,
we
like,
haven't been in that one. I know what you're talking about though. Yeah.
But there's like actual haunted places around there. I figured probably might.
Oh, I'm sure there's got to be. There's a lot of crazy spots in Oregon. I remember we did there's like an old amusement park we did up there too, which like you think of amusement park, it's all fun and games, but
Right.
it's like
People die at amusement parks.
oh yeah,
I mean, we've been seeing that shit lately.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah, bro. And I've been watching things. We've known this since kids, but don't go in them don't put your kid on those carnival rides that these carnies put together.
Just
like
the pop-up one.
pop-up
Oh,
ones.
hell
Do
no.
not
No, you don't want that.
put
Do not do
fucking
it.
kids on those rides. How unsafe they are.
Not even the
like,
Pomona one, dude.
Yeah, bro. Unless it's like a
Yeah, go to a Six Flags or
Yeah, exactly.
Disneyland or
even then
fucking.
people are fucking dying.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I went on one once. It was like one of the ones that like swing you up backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, the hammer.
And I remember it went backwards and then like my harness like clicked out like
Oh man.
and it like caught, but it like clicked out a few clicks and I was like, oh shit. And then
That's-
I was just like sitting there like squeezing, holding on the rest of the ride.
That's when you might shit yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That part.
Yeah.
Whew, no, that I stopped getting on rides years ago, but only because as I gotten older, when I hit my 30s, it felt different coming off of a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Like where when I was in my 20s, I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
fucking come out of a roller coaster feeling like the Tin Man because all my joints are like, oh
yeah.
I think we have to start worrying about the copay in your insurance.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's time to stop getting on roller
Exactly,
coasters. Because prior to that, you were all game.
No, listen, you got to go by how your body feels because, like, you know, I know dudes that were older than me, like jumping on the roller coaster and they don't feel a fucking thing. It's just how your body reacts. Like I fucked around and got on a wooden roller coaster, so that was a bad experience.
That's the cyclone.
Shaky and jerky.
Bro,
know what I'm saying?
Cyclone's like 120 years old.
Horrible.
In Coney Island.
Oh, yeah.
That thing comes literally, I swear, on its sharpest turn. If you sit in the front car comes like off the rail.
You're banking like
people have died on that thing many times. So no, literally at least four to 8 deaths on since it's been.
They should have a fucking masseuse and chiropractor waiting on the bottom for every son of a bitch that's over 30 that gets off of those fucking wooded rides, bro.
I feel everything now. I mean, even the show, like I've broken my ribs doing this show, broken my ankles. Like, or we were filming at a house in the Hollywood Hills, and then I didn't know what was going on, but I was by myself up on the hill, and I saw something dark come out of the bushes. There was nothing there, but it was just something. And it scared me enough where I stepped back, and I lost my footing, and I started just rolling, and I just was gone. And I was like rolling through cactus.
Oh, man.
You know, there was cinder blocks, all kinds of shit, and I ended up breaking my ribs. My leg wrapped around a tree, and it stopped me. And if I went about like 6-7 more feet, I would have like went straight off the cliff.
Done
and dropped,
deal.
like 30 feet into the road.
That would have been done deal.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that's a bad tumble.
ran across
That's
you?
far worse
What's
than
that?
What ran across? Was it like a little
I
nose?
have no idea. No, there was nothing on camera.
it's far worse than a roller coaster.
What was crazy though, afterwards we found out I was being stalked by a bobcat. When I was
Oh
out there.
shit! Damn.
Like we didn't even know because like we'll set up static cameras and I'm going, you know, I walk by them and then like seconds later you just see this bobcat just like creeping up behind me.
Maybe you could feel that. Who knows? You
I mean,
might
it could
be
have
able
been
to
that.
feel that
Like, I don't know.
motherfucker.
Like, we
back.
don't know. Like we didn't say it was paranormal,
Right.
like, but it was unknown. But it definitely.
How big was
fucked me up.
Yeah.
It was probably like. It was
Bro,
like
a
size.
bobcat's like 40, 50 pounds, big enough to kill you.
Well,
Yeah,
the
dude.
fucking
no
the claws.
question.
Yeah.
The claws on a
Cats are
bobcat.
strong, bro. They will kill you, and bobcats are big enough to take you.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Oh, they'll slice you the fuck up.
Once that
All right.
shit gouges at your neck, you're done.
Yep. All right.
Next one, Fernando. Why the slow mode? One love from Tahoe. My bad, dog.
What? I didn't understand any of that.
I heard Tahoe.
Say that again.
Why the slow mode?
Slow mode. Oh,
On the chat. Yeah, I had to adjust some
because sometimes
settings.
it goes too fast, bro. Salute to you and
Usually
Tahoe.
spamming it and
Probably.
slow it down.
All right.
Ask a bum. New world tour idea. How about the Be Real 52s?
The B Real 52s.
Says New World Tour idea.
Do a bunch of B-52 covers.
B-52 covers. I could probably pull that off. Not the singing parts though. 'cause
Rock lobster.
I would need like the two chicks singing in the background, but I could probably do the old man's thing.
Right? That'd be fun.
Shouldn't be too hard. He didn't sing really. I mean, yeah, he did. I cannot take that away from him. He sung.
But it was like a lot of like that talk sing kind of.
Yeah. They just did the B-52s just did that SNL 50
All right.
year artist performance thing, whatever.
Nice.
And the chicks, the two ladies, they could still sing their ass off. It was pretty it was all right. And dude that was the singer, he looks like he's somebody's accountant.
Right. You wouldn't even
He
think
didn't even look like he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing when you see these like performers like still going, like Rolling Stones, like those like.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, you're like 80 still jumping around on stage. Like,
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Give it to all of them.
the Stones
Right.
are like, they're the special ones because like they are very old out there fucking doing
Gotta
it.
be clones by now or something.
something.
They're messing with us.
Fucking
If Deftones listen, he's like, you're goddamn right. There.
robots they bought.
Yep. He's like, on him. He's like, definitely there.
Yeah. All right.
Next one, Milan Nokolic. Jay, do you smoke weed sometimes? If not, give it a chance.
No, yeah, I definitely do. I don't. It's more for me. It's more so like I have tried it different ways. It's always been around growing up in my life, and I always did it. I never like fully grasp onto it, but I do enjoy it. Especially more like I'm more of a nighttime. Like all right, I'm ready to just chill, shut off my mind, and kind of relax. Make sure I get a good sleep. Like sometimes I'll smoke. There's been times where like I've tried a little more than normal, but like I'm one of the ones that like it gave me anxiety. Like it started doing that, and then I had to find out like particular strains, things like that.
See, at least you did the math on that. Other people would just be like, I can't.
Yeah,
and you use it
again.
wisely, right?
Exactly.
How it makes you feel good. Not everyone else, man. If one hit is all you need, that's all you need.
Like, and I know my limits. I know where I'm at with it.
Absolutely.
So like, we kind of talking before the show, like, if I did it before anything, it's like my day's done. Like, it's I'm end of the day, like.
Yeah, you know where you're at, and it's important.
Exactly.
I'll say this: it is a good slogan he came up with. Give weed a chance. That should be the next T-shirt we put out there. Give weed a chance, and then we go for the remake of remakes, and change John Lennon's song.
Give weed a chance. Yeah.
Yes, give weed a chance. All we're saying is give weed a chance. Yeah, do it. Next.
Samwise the Great. I hear footsteps in my house all the time.
That I would imagine if you live alone and you're hearing footsteps in your house, that is the most nerve-wracking shit in life. Because I mean, one, you think it's a person, and then you come to find there ain't no fucking person in there, but you hear that.
I would say first thing first, make sure all your doors are locked just to be safe.
Yeah.
Like, like we were saying earlier, like don't feed into it. Like I get it. You want to know what it is, so there's a natural instinct to be like try to communicate, but like, if it's not bothering you, if it's just footsteps, like then just leave it at that.
Yeah, you could just be funny and say, hey. Keep it down. I'm trying to sleep over here.
Yeah, like my mom told me a story. She's from Manchester, England, and when she grew up, her like old family home, they would hear like the cabinets opening and closing all night, and then they would wake up in the morning and the table would be set. You know, and it was set for one extra person and that was in the family, and like no one said they would do it and all like that. So like if you have a ghost like that, you'd be like, oh, you might as well like do my laundry for me.
Word.
At it,
Set yourself a plate as long as you made mine.
Right.
We're cool.
Yeah,
thanks for the work. Yeah.
So the housemaid died there?
Before you go to sleep, hey, if you're gonna fuck around, do the laundry, please. Thank you. No, and there was real quick. There was this couple that moved into this apartment, and they hadn't experienced what they had experienced before. Like they fucking woke up to their kitchen all fucked up, plates and things like that. It happened to them twice before they decided to film it, and they filmed it. And at night, when they went to sleep or whatever, you could see all their shit just being like flown off the shelf, fucking chairs flying over there, just totally fucking up the kitchen. And they saw it and they freaked the fuck out. And then they filmed it happening again. It was pretty. It's a trip when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first you want to be skeptical and say, well, that's probably all effects. But then you think about it and just like, well, some of that shit don't look like effects, especially when there was that little sound that happened before it all starts happening.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like shit you guys hear when, with or without that spirit box. Because I'm sure there's sometimes you hear noises and they're not necessarily on the box.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we hear stuff. We've seen stuff that, sometimes we don't capture it, so it's tough to explain it. But there's times where, like, I remember one episode we were doing, and I was going to turn on the cameras. Like, I was going through the location, turning all the cameras on, and I came back, and I saw a cowboy just, like, full-on walk by me. And in my mind, I was like, why is there a reenactor here? Like, we're filming, cameras are rolling, like, it's supposed to just be us in here. Why is there, like, because it was like an old West kind of town.
Right.
So they had reenactors, they would do the gun shows, stuff like that. So I got kind of annoyed. I was like, why, like, we're filming, why is this guy here? And then I walked up and I looked where he was walking, and there was no one there. And I looked back where he came from, and then the other guys were there at our nerve center. And I was like, why is that guy here? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, no one came through.
Like, who the fuck
and I was
you
like,
talking
shit.
about?
And I was like, there was no camera that caught that, but it was like, man, that.
They're like, are you dosing again?
Like, all that stuff. Like, those moments happen all the time. It's wild.
Right on. Bolted. I mean, rah.
Next one's from Pedro Alagues. Incubus and succubus. Succubus is a male. Incubus is a female spirit. Tony has his podcast. He speaks on it.
Right on. There you go.
And make sure you get the right one.
You hope you get the right one.
Whatever you want, each to their own.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Mr. Tricolak, he's back saying Any res ghost activities?
Res Ghost.
Yeah.
Reservation.
Oh yeah. We've done earlier like that Skinwalker cave that we did, and then we did a house out in Navajo Nation that had a lot of experiences. We find a lot of spaces we go around. Even my friends, the band I'm playing now, like I hear their stories. Our singer lives on the reservation out in South Dakota, Takata, and like they're in tune for sure. I think maybe more than certain people.
Yeah.
Like they're in it and they really gravitate to it, and there's a lot of stories, a lot of things. We've only focused on a few, but something we definitely love to get more into.
Right on.
OG Diamond, stay out of the voodoo shops.
Stay out of the voodoo shops, yeah.
Just don't mess around if you don't know what you're doing.
Hell yeah.
What does she mean by that? Like, she's talking about botanicas? Because to some people,
yeah, to some people, yeah, some
they
people
just automatically think that's the witchcraft store. It's like, no, but that's like where you go get supplies, dude.
Yeah, it's where you go get supplies to work the stuff. It's not like anything in there is like so charged. You have to charge it.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing because obviously people use it, and if they're using it right, good for them. You know? But I think there is a lot of people, kind of what I mentioned earlier, that don't know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I could just go to a store. I'm going to get, like when I did the Ouija board as a kid, like we got all these ritualistic things. We didn't know what we were doing, and it opened up some crazy shit. But so if you are going to go into that, like just make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Midget Mike. Jay, have you ever saw any ghost little people?
Midgets.
Possibly. I don't know for sure, but we've definitely captured mists and entities that were shorter.
Little legs.
Yeah. Like whether they were like a partial formation, a partial manifestation, or if it was a shorter person, or who knows. But we've definitely caught small entities for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you just never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, we think only tall people die, for Christ's sake.
That's the thing, we've
Gotta
caught
be little
like
spirits.
giant size.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
some people,
too,
I mean, some people witness like kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, because kids that have been killed, you know what I mean? Like, and their energy is still there, haunting places and shit like that.
You wouldn't be able to tell if it's like a midget ghost unless you saw it walk or something like that, or see it detailed apparition status, bro. It could have been a kid.
Right.
You gotta see it walk, and then it has a little midget walk.
And that's the thing when you see it, it's it's like there's limited detail too. You're catching bits and pieces, or something the way it manifests. So it's hard to get that detail.
Yeah. All right.
Hood hippies, shout outs and love to y'all from the Overspray Graffiti Shop in Pomona.
Salute.
Puffing on the Pro, Blumita, Cheers, and E-Zone. Nice merch drop for We Don't Smoke the Same.
Thank you. Yeah, pre-orders drop on Friday, very limited. Shout out to Hood Hippies for that art. And looking forward to making some more dope merch like that. Those windbreakers are going to be so sick.
Bring it.
Samwise the Great. Any word on GF? Miss that guy? Taunting the old man.
GF is, he's in Vegas. He's chilling. We're going to see him pretty soon.
I talked to him this morning. He's actually saying that his leg's feeling the best it's felt in a long time, ready to go throw the disc with all of us out there. And, he's actually feeling a lot better.
Right on.
But
Salute.
can he throw a bowling ball?
Yeah, because we had talked about that too, and he said he and I are going to go bowling in the next couple of days. So he's ready. He's up and running.
Right on. Salute to GF. Godfather.
Next one is from Ikmo J. When my great uncle died, I seen him in a weird makeup thing. Mom said he died the next day and that he would have loved me. Then a week later, I seen his funeral picture, and it was him younger.
Okay, he needs to respell that, bro, or tell that story. I did not get nothing from.
That's what he.
Did you understand?
It was a little.
It was a little confusing.
Was the makeup the funeral makeup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be
Right.
Could be.
I mean, on that note, what makes me think is actually I had uncle, and I was driving to Philly, and I was about to cross the bridge, and I remember I felt like I drove through something. I felt literally physically felt whoa, something hit me, and literally I got to where I was going, and then I looked at my phone, and my mom just called me. She's like, "Oh, your uncle passed away literally 20 minutes ago," and I was like, "Oh, that lines up with that time.
Yeah.
You do feel like family, people that you're close to, like kind of what I was saying earlier, is that connection that, you know, humans like bring us all together. And, you know, if you're in tune with that, if you're open to it, like you can feel these, you know, it's, you know, like
that's totally real.
Like
for
if you're
sure.
a Star Wars, it's like a disturbance in the Force. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You feel that energy change.
Yeah, I think if you're connected that strongly to somebody, you know, family member, loved one, whatever, I think you would feel it. And you wouldn't know it until someone told you, hey.
Exactly. You want to be like, oh, this person just died. You'd be like, whoa, that was weird. What was that?
Yeah.
And then you relate it to what you find out.
Yeah.
Next one is from Derek McDuffie. Inhale, exhale. Just got an ounce of Cali in the mail.
All right. Got some of that Cali blaze.
Unless they shut down the post offices.
Yeah, let's hope that don't happen.
Oh, never. That's one thing. Can't lose.
Right.
They do want to, like, I think they were trying to, like, stop it. And
Yeah, I just saw something, I guess, today or the other day. I don't get into politics too much, but like,
Yeah, same.
I saw something about they're coming after the post office now.
It's been happening for years, though. Way, like, for the last 10 years, they've been, like, making it smaller, but they're working more hours now. Like,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
you didn't never got mail on a Sunday before. Now, you know, like, that changed years ago.
Right.
I don't know if that's federal, right? That's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, you know, they've done things to keep themselves up with the times because it's the same pigeon carrier days.
Yeah.
You do your shit. You have Amazon who delivers shit in hours.
Right,
You know, so
exactly.
Post
You gotta
office has to,
compete.
Yeah, they got to compete with all that shit.
Next one's from Buckman. Like the movie Candyman. Who's ever played Bloody Mary?
Oh, who hasn't? I did.
Oh, yeah,
I
all the
did.
time.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And if you got scared enough, you've seen it because you put it in your head and scared the shit out of yourself.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
that's what I believe. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what you've seen, but some people literally scream their
Yeah,
ass
most people
off,
scared the
man.
shit out of themselves just doing
That's
it.
what I
Yeah.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
unfortunate we lost, you know, Tony Todd in the last couple of years who played Candyman. I actually worked with him on a couple movies, and I remember one night we were just like hanging out. We wrapped filming, we were just hanging out, and we were drinking, we were doing all right. And I was like, hey man, like if I call up my friend and I could sneak you in there, will you like hide in the bathtub and we'll go in there and do Candyman in the mirror and then you pop out? And he was like, let's do it. He was all about it. And like it was, you know, drunken chatter at like 2 a.m. So like we never did it, but he was all about it. He was a good dude.
That would have been hilarious to pull that off.
You have
of
the
your friend.
actual guy who, I saw that
Scare
in
the
movies,
shit out of your
right?
friend.
Yeah, that was great.
That's a great prank.
Right.
It's real.
All right, Utah Hawk announcing Bobo's birthday bash number 2. See you guys August 27th.
Oh, are we gonna be in Utah August 22nd? Is that what he's saying?
For sure,
And
because
he's
he's
gonna-
not traveling out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're ready. Oh, good.
Even though it's been offered like 4 years ago in a row,
Yeah.
and you still won't leave.
Not that far, Utah. You can make the hike.
He's probably like on probation or something.
That I believe.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's busy. He got shit going on at home.
Got a family, dude.
Probably,
Yeah.
Probably probation.
I'm going with his own.
Probably probation.
Possession of
I can't
controlled
leave the state.
substance.
Right.
I can't leave the state. My probation officer is totally against it. All right.
All right, this next one is from Colton Hagen. I wonder if he's been to the Black Hills in western South Dakota. Lots of Native American land out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did out there. We did a whole, I think it was a 2-hour special we did in Deadwood. In South
Deadwood,
Dakota.
yeah. A
and
lot
we
of
did
killing happened there back in the
Oh, yeah.
Wild West days.
That's the thing. There's something like, and like people sometimes online, they'll be like, why are you guys always like more West Coast than the Southwest? And like, you know, but there's something, we're always drawn to these old Wild West towns.
Yeah.
You know, and there's just something about like, it was just, it's, you know, now the country, it's what it is. And it's just, it's modern. But like back then, those bits of American history are still
yeah.
just like raw and, you know, charged. So
A lot
we
of
always-
gunfights.
Yeah, we
though.
always tend to go to those places a lot and get amazing evidence. But I remember the Black Hills were just beautiful. And that place, you could just feel like it's a magical spot. Like
Right.
there's certain places you travel and you go around the world and you're like, this is a magical place. This isn't just a cool place, not just beautiful. Like this is a magical spot. And Black Hills were definitely a magical spot.
He's from like North Minnesota.
Minnesota.
But he's got family in South Dakota. Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's cool. It looks beautiful. Like
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah, and then we did a spot in North Dakota that was probably like way up there. It was like right by the border. That I don't even remember what that was, but I remember just flying in, driving hours, and it was just nothing and nothing. And I don't even remember what the location was, but that was when we did a spot up there in North Dakota.
I think North Dakota holds the record for like as cold as it's ever been in
Right
the
now?
country, -60.
Or just period.
Yeah, in that period, it was like -60. If
Right,
I, you know, I
probably,
could be
yeah.
wrong, but it was -60. That's crazy.
Layer the fuck
That's
up in North Dakota,
crazy.
baby.
Fahrenheit,
No
not
way.
Celsius.
I lived in the Pocono Mountains for a while, like outside of New York, and I remember like I was doing it was like early days of the show. I'd come home after being on the road for a week or two, and there's like 2 feet of snow on my driveway. I'm trying to drive up the mountain to get up there, and I was like, I can't do this. It's I'm not a fan of the cold anymore. I grew up in it, but I can't do it.
Yeah, when you've been away from it too long, trying to go back to it is not the business.
I'll like appreciate it, like,
Yeah.
even go play in the snow and
Couple
appreciate it
days
for a
and
little
back.
bit. Yeah, exactly.
For the weekend.
Couple
Yeah.
days and back, G.
Right.
All right.
All right, we got Benny Rico. Salute to the whole table, especially my guy, Sir Lord Trace Nunez.
Sir Lord.
See
huh?
that? See that?
You got 2 titles? Is that what you're saying?
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't get to.
You can't give
Put
yourself
some
2
respect
titles.
on that name. Thank you.
He's got senior and sir.
Thank you.
You didn't get knighted. You get Lord.
How do you know?
Who the queen has to fucking knight you? When did that happen?
Senior.
He's dead or the king now.
Don't worry about it.
No one
Between
knighted.
me and the queen.
Yeah, me and the king.
How
now.
did you lord up, son?
I bought a little piece of property.
Oh,
back
did
there.
you?
Bro,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like $300. They
Oh,
send you a
The
certificate.
bitterness.
Or
the
like
bitterness.
A 2x2.
Lord Trace.
Just tell you.
The hate.
It's just
I'm
the
a
fact.
landowner. A landowner.
They got him
Okay?
on that one. Yeah. Beautiful.
Can you buy 2 of those and get double the land?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You could buy the
become a
piece
lord
right next to me and we
Lord,
could be
Lord.
neighbors. We could be neighbors.
Come on, don't bullshit me. all right?
Lord E-Zone and Lord Trace, huh?
I might.
That's all right. Wait till you guys all laugh when I get dual citizenship.
All right. I won't be laughing.
You already know.
Are you gonna go over there?
Taking this international.
Yeah. Are you gonna go there?
Well, they call
Lord.
they call it Mr. International, don't
That's
you know?
why I bought the property. Duh.
Damn, Trace.
Where is it at?
Yeah. And where can you
Where's
build
that?
said land on this property?
It's
or is it like
in,
a 2x2?
It's in Scotland.
Okay.
He's gonna put a Barbie house on it because that's all that's gonna fit on it.
Hey,
you know
hey,
what I'm saying?
hey.
Right.
All right, next.
Next one is from RS70. Have you ever been in the... This is weird. Have you ever been in abandoned Lincoln Heights jail?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, the one out here.
I mean, we've done a lot of jails, but that one doesn't ring a bell. that
Yeah.
time, No.
I don't think I've heard of that. Well, maybe it
That's a
was
first.
maybe like a not necessarily the jail, but like the holding tank. Certain
Yeah.
precincts have like a holding tank before they send you to fucking jail. It could be that. Maybe
Right.
there was a station in Lincoln Heights or something like that.
We did I don't know if it's the same spot. There's a spot in somewhere in LA that it's like I think it's a police museum now. They make it, but it was an old police station. They had maybe 6 holding cells or something.
Yeah.
I remember that place was fucked up. They
Yeah.
had there was that story where the guys came out in body armor and robbed a bank and they had all their stuff was there.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty dark stuff going on. And I remember we were walking by a jail cell and it's pitch black and we hear this huge crash bang in the cell next to us. And it was like a Scooby-Doo moment where Aaron was he's running one way, I'm trying to run the other way, but it's a small, we're bumping into each other. And he runs and pushes me back and my back catches, there was a ledge, a metal ledge where they put the food tray. And it literally rips through my jacket, through my shirt, through my skin. And I just and then, of course, I'm still just running. I just run naturally and then finally drop on the ground. I'm bleeding. And
Shit.
it's the thing, man. People think, oh, it's a TV show. This stuff's real.
Shit is real. Some places a lot more realer than others.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In terms of activity, I should say.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, this next one is from Mega Man. What up, Mega Man? Explain the situation on what happened to Aaron, ex-wife putting hit on him.
I mean, it's still super fresh, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, and it's out there. It's happening. It's true. We're all shocked, and
That's why. You guys were filming, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we're family. Aaron's my brother. So we're just trying to be there for him through this and kind of help him through it.
Yeah. Salute to Aaron, man. Positive vibes to you.
Wow.
Next one's from Ray. How about the original Exorcist movie? Can you guys finish watching?
I did it as a kid, and it was one of the worst. No, seriously, there was many movies that scared me as a kid. It really didn't work. Exorcist as a kid scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like that movie fucking.
Yeah, as a kid,
that
for
was a bad
sure.
one, bro. Yep. That was a
We
bad
shouldn't have even been watching
Nope.
it. As
That
a
was a
kid.
bad one, man.
Do you ever go back and watch those movies now, though? Like
I've watched
you
it
remember
as,
it as a kid, and you're like, "This is terrible." And you watch it now, you're like, "Oh,
So
Yeah.
easy, but back then, fuck.
right." Oh,
yeah, as an adult, you could
Terrible.
watch it and you'd be like, this corny shit. fucking
Right.
like
Yeah.
that.
But now Exorcist holds up, though. It's still,
Yes,
like
it
you
does.
see like certain things,
Yeah.
but it's a good film. And
Phantasm was another one.
Phantasm, yeah, Reggie Bannister.
Poltergeist too. Yep. That was another. Poltergeist was
Yeah.
another one. That one was fucked up.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
Weren't we out in Washington D.C. on bikes, and Bobo was trying to find those stairs from the Exorcist?
Just trying to find the Exorcist stairs, yeah.
We were driving around all night trying to find, and we never found.
And we never found. They weren't meant to be found by
Right.
us
You
that
know
night.
the what was it? We filmed in, I think it's outside of St. Louis. It was like the original Exorcist house, like the original, like the true story that inspired that.
Oh, no shit.
That screenplay, yeah. We did that. That was we did that as our 100th episode. It was like a 100th episode special. That was a cool spot.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. Crazy story.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
All right, next one's from King Keek. Jay, you ever hear about the Dartford Cemetery in Green Lake, Wisconsin? I lived behind it growing up. It was on Haunted America or something. Check it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. We haven't been there, or haven't actually heard of it, so it'll definitely get added to the list for sure. I mean, all those old graveyards, cemeteries are usually wild.
Yeah. When you think about it, there's so many fucking unexplored places. You know what I mean? You guys are just going to keep finding them.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
All right, Megan. What advice do you have for people that ask if they feel, see, or have premonitions and they question that they have mental illness or spiritual awareness?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not, gonna diagnose anybody. And it's always good to be sure about what you got going on. But like, there's without a doubt everything I've done past 15 years, even beyond, even before the show. Like, I know without a doubt that there's more to this world than just this.
Yeah.
Quick story: when I was in high school, I was a nerd. It was like a calculus class. The first semester, I learned a bunch of stuff. The rest of the year, I actually did my own equations, and I calculated that we only experience about 0.00001% of all reality that exists. And I remember showing my teacher, and she's like, "Yeah, you didn't do any of your work, or you didn't pass your test, so you failed." But I remember doing that, and I basically broke it down like we have 5 senses. That's what we know of as reality. But like, you think of like a dog that hears a dog whistle, like that's something that exists that we don't experience. There's infrared light, there's UV light that like we can't see that, but we do know it exists. So if you take all those things that define our reality, we're only experiencing about a billionth of a percent of what we know to exist.
Yeah,
You
the
know
things we can't see.
So we're just scratching the surface, like even in this 15 years, like I'm never going to be like, oh, I know it's this, I know it's all this. Like I'm still learning, I'm still trying to figure out things. I've experienced so much. I've seen things lift off the ground, go flying, witness exorcisms, possessions, scratches, all kinds of things. I've crawled through mass graves from the plague times under Paris, like been to so many places, but like without a doubt, there's so much more, and we're still learning, will it be something we'll ever truly know 100%? Probably not, because there's still much to figure out, but there's more. There's more to this. So take that as however you will. If it could be comforting, it also can be scary at times, but I try to look at it as more of a comforting thing, our time here is short. There's no guarantee, our time here. So I live every day like I'm happy I woke up, and I want to make the best of my day.
Yeah, and understanding and embracing that these energies exist, I think helps too. Like, some people would rather, like we said early on, be in denial and be, not trying to deal with any of it, right? Like, if I don't see it, it's not going to scare me. It's not going to do nothing to me. But I feel like you got to embrace it, because the energy does exist here.
Yeah, like learn to live with it.
Live with it,
be
yeah.
A symbiotic relationship with, all of nature, all of spirituality.
It's all
everything that's there.
connected. Yeah, I feel like that it's all connected. All right, what else you got?
Next one is from Midge and Mike. Jay, what are your thoughts on crop circles?
I think they're pretty cool. I know like a lot of them have been debunked. There was like a whole group out of England that came through and were like, oh yeah, we were making them, and they showed how they made them. There's definitely, I do believe in aliens. I don't necessarily believe in aliens like necessarily from another planet. I tend to go into the philosophy that aliens are actually us from the future. Because if you actually study like anthropology and evolution, the way like we're evolving, like our wisdom teeth. Our wisdom teeth fuck us up because our bottom jaw is actually getting smaller and moving backwards. So that's why we're in like this weird point in evolution where like our wisdom teeth cause problems.
Right.
Our frontal lobes are getting bigger, our heads are getting bigger. So if you fast forward that projection, or we're gonna get smaller here and bigger here, and then you add in some kind of world catastrophe like a nuclear war or some kind of destruction, and humans are forced to go underground. We're going to lack sunlight, so we're going to lose pigmentation in our skin, kind of turn more gray, and our eyes are going to have to get bigger to actually be able to see in the dark. So if you put all that together, that basically fast forwards human evolution into the typical gray alien.
Yeah, I know, a lot of people have that theory for sure.
It makes sense to me, and I'm not saying that there's not other aliens. I've encountered people that, we did a case in Arizona where a guy claimed he killed like 20-something gray aliens with a samurai sword every time they came to his house, and they whatever they were experiencing, like they believed it, like you know what I mean? Like it sounded crazy, and at first it was like, all right, this is nuts, like this just sounds ridiculous, but like they believed it. So in their reality and their perspective, like no doubt that it happened to them. And then I do a lot of research with like frequencies, like infrasound and frequency vibrations. Basically, it's like the idea of resonance theory, where like an opera singer hits that note, that frequency is the same as a glass, and it shakes itself apart and breaks.
Right.
So the idea that I have is I use different infrasound. I'll dial in different frequencies to try to open up portals. Like if there's activity in an area that they claim is kind of portal, and this guy's house, he was claiming it's like an alien portal. So I actually messed around with different sounds, and I found one that's all of a sudden the whole space of the room just felt like it was vibrating. And we film in pitch black too. And I started seeing like faint, like tall, like grayish figures like walking around
coming through,
room. And I was just like, man, this is.
Let's close that shit.
It got really trippy and wild.
Yeah. God damn.
So what was he
That's
doing
the next episode of What We Do. We got to go in with them.
Wait, you saw that?
Check this
you
shit
saw
out.
those figures come through with this guy again. He's like, stand back. He got a samurai sword.
Right,
Like,
guts it out. No, they were just like moving by. Like they were almost like, if you imagine like they would like manifest and disappear. Like they were almost like phasing in and out of our reality.
damn.
Yeah, they're out there. I
Yeah,
believe
he
so.
said one night his wife lifted up out of bed and like was like levitated through the house, went outside and started going up to the ship, and he ran out with his AK-47 and just started shooting the ship, and it ended up dropping her.
I love it. These things seem a little weak. How did 5 of them go down by a samurai sword? Like you made it over here light years away, and you guys are just getting chopped down with our basic old form of weaponry.
Well, that was the thing.
Just
We
a
asked,
knife.
we're like,
you
what
know.
happens? Where are the bodies? Where
Right.
that they would like deteriorate, and they would just like. So I don't know if they're like.
This might have been after a ceremony.
Right, like
there.
being
He might have been on a-
teleported in, and then they get hit, and they just like vanish out. You know.
He could have been on a good dosage.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Post ceremony, exactly.
Post-cer-
After a ceremony,
And
that
then
seemed.
did the cop show up after you? Like, if we can't see these figures, he's randomly shooting at the fucking
Nah, this
sky.
is like rural Arizona. They're
Yeah, there ain't nobody out there.
yeah.
Places cops don't go. All right.
All right, Zero Fox Zero. Y'all should hit up Whaley House in Old Town SD.
San Diego, yeah. We did actually. That was 2014, I think. So it's been a while, but yeah, we went out there and it was a cool spot. It's like just a legendary, spot. And no, I love Whaley House and all the people there, and it's a long time ago, but I remember too, we were very limited. It felt like they were like, all right, like, because it is like, it's a museum. They have a lot of roped off areas, and I felt that place specifically like we like to fully engulf ourselves in an investigation, and I felt like in that one we were kind of limited. We are like, all right, like
They didn't want to give you access to everything.
we got to take our shoes off to go in that room, kind of thing. What I mean? Like, and it just kind of like, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but like it felt, it was limitations that kind of restrict you.
Yeah, you can't really investigate if they're putting so many goddamn limitations on you.
Have you guys done the Queen Mary?
Yeah,
Queen
Queen
Mary.
Mary.
What did you think of that one?
Oh, that was really cool.
Did you guys feel and sense things there?
Yeah, the Queen Mary. I remember we got a lot of EVPs, which is electronic voice phenomena. When you record and you play back and you know it was quiet, but you get voices in the recording. I remember getting a lot of those there. I mean, we've been all over San Diego. We did Alcatraz. That was a cool one. That was a limitation one, but it was more like a time window. Like, all right, we can get there. We have like so much time there, but we had free reign to kind of run around and do what we do. And so it's, I don't know. I love all those, like, there's so many cool iconic spots that we've been able to do, which is honestly one of the biggest perks of doing what we do is that we go to these places that, like, I wouldn't, you know, you're going to go on vacation. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go out to, I mean, I guess people do go to San Francisco and visit Alcatraz, but like we go to these places that like you won't even know really exist, or these little desert towns and, you know, places that, you know, are some of the most amazing. There's a place in northern Nevada, actually outside of Reno, called Virginia City. It's like an old mining town up in the mountains, and it's like it's still like they have like the wooden sidewalks and things. And I feel like we've done almost every building in that town, but like you won't even know it exists. But it's such a cool spot.
Word up, you guys better note that.
Next one is next one's from Mr. Twikalak. Shout out to you, Jay. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
hanging out with the highest show in the world.
Absolutely. Thank these guys. This is great. Love this. Been trying to do it for a while, I think.
Yeah.
It
We've been
finally
talking
came
about it
through,
for a minute. Yeah.
We just keep missing each other.
Yep. Finally knocked it out.
Yeah.
The next one, and I think it's the last one from Marbell. You hear that? No Colton. Ah, yes. It's peaceful again.
That's a knock on our guy who's not here today.
Oh, man.
Who mispronounces words. All
That's the one with the trouble rolling the R's?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
trouble. Impossible.
Yeah.
Just not.
Yeah, no
The
trouble.
possibility of rolling the R's. Yeah, he's in here right now.
Yeah.
He was in here. He was saying hello and all the things. Man, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit here with us. First of many. We got to get you back in here and talk about
Sure.
after the season rolls out. We could talk about
Yeah.
the crazy, you know, what you're going to do next, because
Right.
I already know the next adventure is always fucking
Nonstop.
nonstop, you know, crazy.
Let's
Because
go
I
to
mean, you're
Vegas.
just gonna keep experiencing a lot of these crazy things and shit.
That's the thing. Like, there's times where I'm like, all right, what else could we experience, you know? And then we go on a new investigation, and it still blows my mind.
Yeah, man, salute, man,
You
and
appreciate it.
thank you for putting in that type of work and showing people that this shit actually exists.
Yeah.
And how you deal with it. Most importantly, if you're experiencing these type of things, and how, you know, like how you snap out of it and not let it fucking take you down a bad road. And salute to all y'all for watching and getting down with us here today. Much love and positivity to all y'all. You got any shout outs, Jay?
Yeah, I'm just saying new season starts April 16th. It's going to be on Discovery Channel at 10 p.m. And then it airs next day on Max and Discovery Plus. I'm starting to book shows with my band, 100 in the Hand. So hopefully we'll be around and we'll catch you guys out there.
Well, you got to let us know, man. We'll come check it out.
Absolutely.
Trace.
Before we get started on my shout outs, I have gifts. Everybody, I got gifts for you.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, I know you. I know you look like. Oh man, what has he got for us? E-Zone, you're in on this one. Remember when I told you when you guys bowl 180s, you get patches.
Oh,
There
wow.
it is.
sick.
Official
Oh, wow.
180 game. There you go.
You don't have one that says 190?
Oh, this guy.
So that's why you were saying that earlier.
Yeah.
Significant.
So I got Aton his, I got Colton his,
What's his, a rainbow?
and this one we got one left, and this will probably be mine because I'm next to do it.
Oh, you're holding that so when you hit 180.
You know what? I'm gonna let you hold mine. There you go. You hold mine
I don't want it.
because you're gonna be the guy that awards it to
Oh,
me.
you want me to award it to you?
Absolutely.
He knows he's going to get it.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'll take it. Bring that
there
shit
you go.
here.
There you
I
go.
will keep this in the bowling bag.
And that's for the guys. That's Atons and Boltons.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you got your 180 patches. Congratulations,
Thank you.
guys.
I got to figure out what I'm going to put this on.
There you go.
I'm going to wear that proudly.
There you go. Big shout out to all you guys around the table. Jay, nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All you people out there, the studio audience for watching today, 5150s, thanks for tuning in. Following me on Instagram at Trace Nunes. You wouldn't know my Instagram because it doesn't, still not on the banner down there.
Oh,
No, it's not.
you mean the ticker on the
Thank
bottom?
you,
of
the ticker. Why is everybody on the ticker?
Who gives a shit about that little ticker?
Me. I give a shit.
All right,
okay?
we'll
Me.
get you on the ticker.
Me.
All right,
All right.
Bolton.
You hear that out there.
When you come back, Bolton, you got to put him on the ticker.
Everybody's on there, including the janitor, except me. Okay.
All right.
Ray.
What's up, Trace? Shout out to you. Shout out to Jay. Thanks for coming through. Shout out to Dominator and Colton and Kelly Blaze.
Shout out to everybody at the table. Trace, thanks for coming through. Stories were great, man. Honestly, it's great to hear that stuff. Catch me at Cali_Blaze and CaliBlaze.net. Peace.
Salute to the guests for coming by today. It was dope. Thank you for sharing your insights in your career. It's very insightful for everybody who's curious about that stuff like I am. Thank you, everybody who tuned in the morning for the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 7 to 9. Mellow Man Ace is going to be going up to the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast, so we have him on tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. That means I got to get a bottle for him.
Nice.
For sure. Also, thank you, everybody who tuned in for my Whatnot auction yesterday. There's another one coming up, so if you don't follow me on Whatnot, I'll send you the link as well, too. And go cop, I dropped like 4 new hats. This is including one of them. So make sure you guys get it. It's part of the Labubu craze. And if you want to get one, just hit up my Instagram because I just bought boxes of them.
Salute to all y'all. Spread positivity and love always. Swallow that.